Good morning, everybody. We are back. The Design Analysis Cast today featuring Squirrel and the continuing adventures with the Arknights. How's everybody doing this wonderful early morning? The sun is already up.
Some of us are awake, at least.
As long as one of us is awake.
Means I'll be carrying the stream today, chat. I hope you're ready.
Good morning, Thomas Farina, Kent, Martel, and Underlord. Right. And should I have the V2 art here?
Let's hold off on that for just a second.
Just gonna tinker with my audio. One minute here. It's already going into the red. Just bring it down a little. There we go. All right. Okay. So this is our.
Shall we go over the format
from
for
last
new
time.
viewers?
Right. So various dumb animal characters will appear on screen. I have to guess what animal they are, what they're like, how they play in game, which ersatz country they are from, and then you will have the opportunity to try and fool me by submitting fake code names to Squirrel here in the chat while I cover up that part of my screen, and then I'll have to pick the real name from amongst all of the fake names.
So start thinking of your fake names, chat.
So I gotta put that as a pinned comment. Don't spoil character names as they appear on screen. Go ahead and pin that to the top. As you can see, we were running out of space on screen, so I've had to reset the leaderboard here. Make some room.
Did you have that on like a separate text box or something?
Yeah, it's still the historical record is still there.
We'll bring it up when it is relevant, so we'll get there. Oh yeah, it's getting big, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, we teased this character after our big aesthetics roundtable, which I would love to do another one with droids or mechs again soon, but this is what we've been promising chat. So I just want to get into it because this is a fascinating character design. Right, so first, the floating crown made of rocks. This is a particular favorite design element of mine. Same with the wings here, of like the solid geometric shapes, particularly crowns and wings, that are just like floating off the side of the character versus attached to them.
Kind of neat looking, aren't they?
It is. For example, another bit of art that does this really well. Oh, where'd it go? This reminds me specifically. Wow, that's a cool version of the card. Nope, I'm already sidetracking myself with the files here, but no, this reminds me of this.
Ooh, haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, so like a lot of the Eldrazi, especially from Return to Zendikar, use this same design element, and I love the way it looks.
No, we're not going to be talking about Magic. Don't you worry.
Yeah, no, this is a particular weakness of mine. Like it's just it just looks really cool, and it's like halfway between like giving a character like a cool like symbolic background, versus like an actual tangible character trait. So I just think it looks really neat. So I really like this design already.
Are you getting some kind of animal vibe? What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking she is the same race as Exusia.
You're correct. This is they're called Thuncta. I don't know if we talked about that before, but yeah, the angles, the wings and halos are in fact very real, although they are not really. They're not like physical. They're sort of like I don't know how to describe it. You can't really touch them. Is basically it, but they do emit light.
Okay, so she can't. These are not. Their jaggedness is purely ornamental. It's not weaponized.
As far as I know, different characters of this particular group, they have different wing shapes, and they're sort of symbolic, I guess. Um, they do appear, at least if we base it off of a shot in the anime, have some very limited gliding functionality, but that's not a gameplay element.
Okay. Well, and is it a decorative like can she fly regardless?
I don't think she can fly, as far as I know, unless I'm missing something very big.
Okay, so the Songsa can't fly, or they
Generally speaking, no.
okay. So it's more like a suspensor unit or something. Like it'll slow down her fall.
That appears to be the extent of what they are functional for.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, just an interesting tidbit.
Okay, but otherwise they're real but intangible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're symbolic.
Almost like they're halfway between a background detail and part of the character.
Wow.
That is handy though, because it means she's not like knocking over stuff in the soup aisle when she turns around.
No, but there are some characters who have like big horns where that's a problem. So
All right, so she's got the cool wings, the cool halo. She's got this very, very long hair that's doing this cool split in the back. So the hair also is suggestive of traditional like angel wings, especially the way it's like the way he's drawn the lines like here and here and here. Like it's not feathers, but it's evocative of feathers. So she's got um almost like three pairs of wings here if you kind of go like this is a wing, this is a wing, this is a wing. Three pairs of wings might be relevant later when we're guessing her name.
huh, that's an interesting detail.
And let's see. Okay, she's got a violin gun that also looks like it has a little extra. Well, she's got the hang on. She's got the same like circular blades as
As Lappy.
yeah,
They do bear some similarity, don't they?
and
At least visually
also
speaking.
yeah, the way these extra blades come down as well. This looks like an inverted musical note.
Mm, yeah, it does. Ugh, I just turned my head upside down. You're right.
Yeah, here, take a look there. Do you see it?
Oh what? Oh yeah. I see everything. Don't put me too close though.
It's all right. The wings are
You know,
intangible. They can't hurt you.
no, modesty's sake, of course.
Hmm.
That's a horrifying sight. We
Uh,
made a new character, guys. The Squirrel Angel, the Squingle. You're welcome.
Flame wing. And then I like you've got the little flash suppressor at the end here. So this is like you were telling me with was it the Germans that like have the battle musicians.
Yes. So you'll be correct in inferring that she casts her spells with music.
Hmm. Which means, I guess that cut in the blade right here means she could like shoulder this thing. But yeah, I guess if she's using like a violin, somewhere up here is going to be resting on her shoulder, so this is so she doesn't slit her own throat while she's playing music and can keep the barrel pointed at the enemy.
Hmm.
So that's why this doesn't go all the way around.
Interesting thoughts. So
Then,
what do you think she's like? Well, actually, let me think about it. What other interesting details might you notice?
she's got some mag pouches on the belt here. Actually, before we play the enhanced game, well, I want to hit the big picture character. So we hit the wings, the hair, the violin, neck accessory as always. She's got a cool little cravat going on here. And then I like the way this belt runs around her shoulders like this because you get it in. She actually just has like a like blouse with sleeves on, but because they throw that strap around there, it makes it look like a oh, what's the word for it? We've talked about this before. Not a mantle, but the like that
I forgot the name. Yeah,
yeah, that medieval costuming bit where it like covers the comes down from the
capelet,
neck, covers the what? Capelet?
like a capelet. Is
That what it
that what
was?
it's called? Well, I know what you're talking about. At the very least.
You know what I mean. I think
Yeah,
chat
you
knows
know
what
what
I
you mean.
mean.
I'm
Yeah,
picking up what
yeah,
you're putting down.
capelet.
But
Yeah, so
yeah, I think
that makes it look like
I
a
like.
capelet as you come down from the top, even though it's actually well, no, I guess it is a capelet because that sleeve does not connect on the other side. So it is. Oh, that's weird. That's
It
cool.
looks to me like she's wearing a black dress, and this white thingamabob is like over the top of it.
Because like this this white sleeve isn't actually a sleeve because it's not sewn at the back side, so it's like a capelet, but they left a gap here, basically like between her arm and her body, which makes it look like a shirt, but then this belt reminds you that it looks like a capelet, which it actually is. There's a lot going on there, but I like it. Right here, cape. Oh, it's a sleeve. No, it's not a sleeve. It's a capelet. And this also reminds you it's a capelet. And then as it comes down to here, the way it's cut at the front mirrors the way her hair kind of comes around is where it's split.
Got that split in it. Yeah,
That's some cool paralleling of the design elements there.
she got some
Yeah,
nice high heels too.
got a cool skirt, excellent stockings, some high heels, and now we can zoom in to look at what all this filigree is. Oh, and the I want to take a closer look at this hand here as well.
So here's a fun little tidbit which you might find interesting. Um, the artist that drew this character is the same one that did like Margaret and Uncle and the Silver Ashes.
Hmm.
So another one where one of the core staff.
I will say the hair and the expression sort of reminds me of a certain VTuber that I think does art for this game, and I'm wondering if that's just coincidental.
Probably coincidental.
All right, let's see. Ooh, we're gonna need to enhance more. All right, Kara's picking up. All right, we have a little half black, half white diamond symbol right there, and the tuning knobs appear to be made of the same sort of vaguely obsidian-looking rock as her wings and halo.
I was kind of getting like an ebony wood vibe.
Hmm.
like a very fancy, expensive dark wood.
It's carved to look like rock. Because it's got
Yeah.
very, very sharp looking edges.
Well, because you wouldn't really make tuning strings, tuning forks out of like rock, right? It's more likely to be wood.
You could if it's meant to tune the magical properties of the weapon.
There's an argument, I suppose.
Then we'll come down here. Okay, I'm probably reading way too much into this, but the way these are drawn, it's a biblically accurate violin with all the extra eyes here.
Do not be afraid, my child. As it goes all across the strings.
Oh, that was okay. You remember Kamen Rider Kiva that I showed you last stream? That was like the bat
Yeah.
vampire themed Kamen Rider.
Mhm.
So his day job is a violin maker, and his like character's non-Kamen Rider motivations is he's trying to. There's a violin he inherited from his father, who is also a violin maker, and he's trying to like recreate his dad's secret recipe for the like red
World's
dye
greatest violin.
that he used to make the violin. And so instead of the bat signal, whenever another space vampire appears, his father's violin alerts him by just playing a certain note across the strings.
That's quite the bat signal.
It's a neat detail, and I
It's
like the
like a
fact
musical version of Sting. You know, like glows when orcs show up.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was thinking of Dune 1984. Yes, the violin plays a note when vampires appear, which is a neat little detail. I also like the fact that they made the main character a violin maker. It's such a niche job to give your superhero. Right. Got the blades, barrel. Oh, that's funny. It's like
It's a music stand.
I was gonna say it also looks sort of like the on the older no, not older, like on the M16s and M4s, you've got the ring where the
Oh, for the barrel shroud.
yeah.
It does bear a little bit of a resemblance, I guess.
And I mean this is about where the barrel starts, right?
Should I pop his bubble chat?
Is that purely a music stand? Is that flaring out there just so that it bounces on the ground nicely?
Yes.
Okay.
This is, in fact, and I know this contradicts everything I told you about angles. This is not a gun.
Hmm.
I liked where you were going, so I was like, let's let him continue on
Like
for just a little bit. He's coming up with some great ideas. It is actually just a cello thing.
Just with a music stand. Okay.
Yeah.
So then
This is a exception in terms of how you tend to see these angles.
okay, so this is
Most
more
of them
just
do
so
use
she
guns.
can rest it against her
Yeah.
shoulder without cutting herself.
Partially also for looks.
Hmm.
Um,
The only gun-free Arknight Angel.
Pretty much. I mean, there's one kid who doesn't get a gun yet. He only has a crossbow because he's like a teenager, but you know that's generally an exception.
Okay.
So
there's
you
something
might
else.
imply that, or might infer from that she might be a little bit unusual.
All right. So there's something else in these pouches then.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's extra strings.
Hmm.
This artist just likes putting pouches on everybody as well, so there's that.
Ooh, I like the lace trim on the bottom of the skirt's neat looking.
Very fancy. Probably phrase. I can imagine you walk by a bush and it gets stuck and rips. Oof.
Well, and right here, man, this is cool. Just from the artist technique point of view, like how he's got like the transparency and the change in the color down here is to suggest that it's like you can tell it's like a diaphanous material here. They're like semi-transparent
How long
the
do you
way
think
the
that took
light's
to
going
draw
through.
just the edge of the skirt?
That depends on if he has built himself, like if he draws his character a lot, if you built yourself a custom brush, that would save you some time, but you'd have less control over how the edge of the skirt looks. So if he's doing every line by hand here, then
I
that's
think the stuff's like
gonna take a
digital,
while.
but with some kind of how those programs have like
Hmm.
little different types of brushes, and you can do like magic select, and
Yeah, is it? Man,
it's in
this
layers
almost
as
looks
well. I would
like
imagine.
a watercolor brush on the far side of the skirt here.
Am help if you make me slightly smaller.
Yeah,
Sorry, chat, I'm too big.
just a squirrel.
There we go. This reflects my proper size.
Hmm. To scale now. Let's see here. Oh, shoot, where have I seen this before? The diamond shape on her belt buckle.
um,
Uh, I'm not gonna click back through the whole slideshow. I know we've seen that design element before, or that symbol before.
I Part of me thinks again it's an artist trademark kind of thing, but I don't know.
Okay,
I'm also
no,
not going to go look at every single previous one.
okay, but you were saying that
You'll
he's the one that did the horse girl, Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay, I think she had that symbol on her gear.
So
So
certain artists, because they'll draw
he
like
likes working in like
25 characters.
white and black and gold, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see certain artists will tend to do very similar things on their characters, not necessarily because there's a meaning behind it, just because they like to draw that.
Mm.
So,
Got some little bits of gold in her hair, which is neat. Oh, it's almost like
to me, that looks like a light reflection.
okay. So
It's
this
like
is really
it's a reflection of her crown.
I was gonna say that's really cool. It's like where the crown. It's like it's casting a shadow, but it's a halo, so it's made of light, so it highlights the thing it would cast a shadow on. Because here it's about, you know, roughly around the same level as her smaller wings. And then she's also got it, her eyes are really cool looking here, where you've got her her pupils
Her
are
pupils
actually
are like diamonds. Yeah,
brighter than her irises. That's really neat looking.
they've got like a diamond shape to them.
Yeah,
It's really tiny, but you can see it.
that's really cool looking. It almost gives her a slightly like feline look. All right, so Exuzia's face fooled me last time because in the one picture she looked really like somber, but then you're like, no, she's the Genki girl. So this character does not look as Genki, but she looks like um, reserved, but not like unfriendly reserved like a lot of these characters look. Like a lot of these characters look both like I'm reserved and also I don't want to talk to you anyway. Um, she looks reserved, but like, she's got this little smile to here, so it's like a friendly reserve uh like shy library girl sort of look.
A little bit impish, perhaps.
Mm. Or like a yeah, like a serious musician.
Well, that she is a serious musician for sure.
Like very um she looks kind of serious because she's very like studious and dedicated to her craft. But she is also like friendly, music is typically played for an audience, so it's not like she doesn't like people.
She definitely likes playing for people. That much is very true.
Yeah, I love all these little just details he's has on like the trim of the clothing here. Just the way he adds all of these lines. She's got some sort of symbol on her shoulder here that looks like angel wings. Oh, this is another cool element is this reminds me of something I've done with some of the minis I've painted, where he's taking something that I'm referring to the wings here. Um, he's using the highlighting and the shading on these to introduce another color that's not really found anywhere else in the character, but helps prevent, especially with a black and white design, prevent it from being too monochromatic. So he's using red and like the shadows here on the edges of the wings as they come in towards her, um, to add more color to the piece.
It's like a dark kind of brownish red.
Yeah, I did these. I was painting some urukai, and at 1 inch high, urukai mostly just look like a lot of dry brushed steel, and then like some really dark brown or dark red limbs, depending on how you paint them. I might have even done gray. No, I think I had some dark red in there. I was trying to make him look like one of the urukai from Mordor. Um, so then before I painted the white hands on their shields, I took a brighter shade of red and kind of brushed that over the shield and then painted the white hand over that so that it was like a white hand edged in red.
You'll
And
just send me a picture of that sometime.
it made the whole model pop a lot better than it had before. I stole the idea from the part in the book where they're approaching Isengard and they see the big white hand statue set up, and up far away it looks like it's pure white, and then as they get up close they see it's all blood stained.
Yeah.
So I like what he's doing here, adding color to the piece. And then okay, so up close, far away, it almost looked like her right hand was made of a similar material as her wings. Um, but up close I can see he just really likes doing the highlighting on these gloves on her fingers. This artist is not afraid of hands.
This artist loves hands.
Like, not only am I going to draw hands, like, I'm going to highlight them meticulously to
That's a
really
bit of a
show off that
flex,
I
isn't
like
it?
hands. Yeah. Man, it's funny because you can almost see like the way this is highlighted, like you can almost kind of see like the wooden artist hand, like the edges of the joints of that. Like I can tell this was drawn off of like a reference, like a really good reference image.
They almost look a little bit skeletal to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it makes me think of yeah, especially like this joint, these joints here. This is where I'm like, man, that almost looks like one of those wooden artist hands shoved in a glove. So you've got a little bit kind of like more defined edges between each of the joints. He also repeats the diamond symbol on the bow here. I'm fascinated by this hand. Let's look at the other hand again. Such a good hand.
Well, I think
Oh,
this might be a
oh,
good
all right.
opportunity
He got
to bring
his
out the
he
second
spent his
piece of
hand
art.
budget on one. I'll draw
Yeah,
one hand
yeah,
real
it's,
good, and yeah, her fingers don't even wrap around that thing. She's just like, hey, and she's just there's probably a grip or something on the
I
back.
think there's a grip on the back. But yeah, it's a good way to be like, all right, we did one hand in 200% detail. We're done.
Mhm. And as we go down, more cool filigree and design patterning on things, and oh, okay, so that's interesting. symbols repeated on her shoes again, and then kind of adding to like the floaty feeling. This first set of straps here is what's actually like helping hold the shoe on, and then these other straps up here are basically like purely decorative, and they just kind of like are floating around her leg, thus emphasizing the floatiness of the entire character.
There's a weightlessness, perhaps, to her visage.
So yeah, the way like the way this comes back, the way the skirt kind of floofs out, the way these are kind of coming forward and up. Yeah, all of her clothing elements are designed as if there's either like a slight breeze going on or they're less affected by gravity.
I personally guess towards the latter to emphasize that feeling. But yeah, I guess you probably figured out she's from the Papal States, as with all angles. So that there's not much point in guessing that.
I haven't guessed at her gameplay yet.
I don't think you're gonna ever get this one right, but I'm willing to let you try.
Will the E2 art be a huge giveaway, or is it a fair clue?
You know, I figure we might as well just bring it up, since you've already gotten a nice chunk here. I see no reason to delay it needlessly, especially if you want to keep our 1 character per hour rate.
Ooh.
So we're already a half hour in.
Make some room.
So yeah, this gives you a little bit more to go off, doesn't it?
Ooh. Alrighty.
My first thought upon seeing this was, this is a Dark Souls boss. Or something along those lines. You thought he drew a lot of hands in the last one. Well,
he really likes hands. Sir, you can't just draw hands. You gotta draw bodies attached to them, too. All right. Ooh, that's cool looking. And she's actually wearing the same outfit, too. That's cool. Oh man, I love that lens flare coming off of the
strings.
violin there.
A shame I didn't find a good version of the. This is like another character has a live 2D kind of E2 art.
But Marcel's saying it reminds me of him of Hecaton Kyres.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. And you can still see like the musical notation. I can't tell. I don't think there's actually notes written there, but like all the lines here looks like musical notation bars.
It's very much it's a bar, and it's weaving around. So again, maybe points to the music itself is magic.
Oh, that's so cool. All the clawed hands, all these faceless entities.
So are you getting any distinct personality vibes?
This,
I mean,
that's such a cool.
From this one versus
I love
the
this
previous
design
piece.
here too. Okay, this is another design element I love in things is like this like faceless except for like the jaws. Hang on, you gotta do another image search real quick because this.
It looks kind of like an alien almost.
Yeah. Or let's see. Let me. Oh gosh, those are even more terrifying than the ones I was trying to find. There we go. This is one that looks really cool though.
Don't forget to be thinking real hard, chat, about your fake code names. Keep brainstorming. Okay, that's kind of whack.
Do you want to know what this is?
Oh, I
Or
Part of me would think it's some kind of torture implement, but
can you guess what this is? This is something that is used to this day.
is this for dentists?
Yes,
Okay.
this is a dental
I was
dummy.
like,
It looks even
wow.
more terrifying with the fake skin on.
Did you ever see that video of like the dental robot that like malfunctions and it looks like there's like a devil trying to escape it?
Oh no.
It's it's a funny one on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's this guy. It's a dental dummy without a nose.
She is not a dentist, if that's what you're guessing.
Why weren't
I don't
you at
think
health
we.
practice?
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
think
want
there's
to
any
play
dentists
music
in.
anymore. I want to
There's no
be
dentists
a
in this game.
dentist.
uh,
He doesn't like
I
to
can.
play music.
Oh gosh, I'm never gonna be able to look at this art piece again the same way. Thank you.
That's what we're
Do you
here
see what?
for.
Now all of chat and I will suffer for eternity, like this dental dummy. That's just me right now. That's what I
He
look
has
like.
a mouth and he is screaming. I
Why weren't you at angel practice? I'm sorry. This. Uh,
you're bicuspid here and he's somewhere.
she's like, I don't want to shoot. I want to play music. Uh, the jokes write themselves.
She's just
Chat.
here being independent together with all of her best friends.
What's left of them?
Hmm. All right. That's a lovely one. We'll go away.
Also, I don't think you're going to be able to guess what she does in gameplay. It's a bit esoteric.
Esoteric, like lore-wise, or esoteric mechanically?
Mechanically, it's unusual. I'll put it that way.
All right. Now you're just making this a fun challenge.
Because it's, there's some pretty obvious ones. Like you look at Margaret, she's got a shield.
Right. Hang
She
on.
blocks and heals.
I got 22 minutes to guess the gameplay and the names, and it'll still be on course.
He does, chat. Do you know? You better buckle in. Or
All right.
What is that? Buckle up. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So they're reminiscent of, well, altogether it's like hecatonkires who were sealed away in Greek myth. She's also an angel character, so it could also be like, dead souls that she's allowed to call forth to attack with. Is this art suggestive of what she does in game, or is this just mental cool?
I think it's probably a little bit more metaphorically representative.
Okay.
Than literally representative.
Mechanically. All right, you'll put her on the battlefield. She will play her music.
Correct. Good guess.
I'm going area of effect attack. And
yeah, she hits everything inside of her range.
The weird mechanic is that she gets stronger based off of how much stuff has died so far.
Ooh, that's a cool guess. It's not quite, but that's a really good guess. I can see how you guess that. It's how should I put this? She's a debuffer.
Okay, so everything in her radius gets debuffed.
And the debuff is death.
I mean, so does that mean she bypasses all like damage reduction abilities then?
Yes.
So it's not just
pretty neat, huh?
It's not like I deal a bunch of damage in my AoE. It's just if you step in my AoE, you die, or you save versus death.
Just damage over time, but it's pretty much unblockable. Actually, as far as I know, nothing in the game resists it. So yeah, it's unblockable.
Okay.
It just does not come. It's not front loaded. It's like back loaded.
Okay, so just you start a clock as soon as you enter her radius, and
yeah,
if you don't get out of it, like you're just gonna watch your hit points drain.
So it's she's like playing the music, and when people hear it, bad things start happening. You might
Okay. So this is
gather
what's
some influence from or inference from perhaps the figures in the background. That's kind of what I imagine is the music sounds like
hmm.
to her
Oh yeah,
victims.
this guy's even like covering his ears way over here.
So they're not having a good time.
Yeah, so this is your brain on music. Ooh. I just want to stare at this for a bit. That's so cool. Oh yeah, because look, like the musical bars here are originating in this guy's mouth. So it's like she's playing the music and then this guy's singing in your head.
You notice he has like a bit of a halo too.
Yeah, much more sinister looking one.
So let's see. What else is interesting here?
The giant is a callback to a bedtime story her mother read to her that led to her career as an international criminal.
Yeah, don't go giving the secrets away.
Wait,
But we'll
her
get to that in
mom
a bit.
also told her the story of Alien as a bedtime story?
Maybe she's a Ridley Scott fan. I don't know.
I remember my dad explaining the plot summaries of the Alien movies to me when I was quite young. Made me really look forward to watching them someday, though.
So do you want to guess the silly code name now?
Uh, yeah, I guess we've hit everything else. So if I can get the code name in 3 minutes, we'll be on a really good pace.
We will be actually 25% faster than usual. Okay, chat, you know the drill.
Let me just make sure. All right, we'll hide chat over here.
So do it in this
And
format. Just type it like this. Be like, let's see. Something like that, right? And then we'll compile those. And then we'll do our guessing game. And then we'll see who gets to fool the streamer.
I'm gonna go refill
And,
my
and
water
obviously,
real quick while you're
yeah.
doing that.
Okay. So avoid things. I know there's like mean guesses. Like, yes, they can be funny, but we're trying to actually trick him. So try to give us your best. And I know there's like, I know we love to do this one, right? We just give him other characters' names. That's a common one. He's starting to catch on to that though, so be careful. I'm sensing a musical theme here. Wow, okay, we're getting a lot here. Good job, Jet. Let's see. What else can we do here? See, I came up with a few myself the other day, so I think we have a pretty good list. Hmm. That must be a really far away glass of water. I kept my water with me. Haha.
Right.
Oh, there it
I'm
is.
back with more water.
He is hydrated, Chet.
Sort of.
Okay, I think we have a quorum. It is time.
Right.
So, okay, I'm gonna give me a second. Ba, 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 ba. You
Ooh, I
get
can
9 this time.
I can rest my feet on the little transformer block for my computer here and get them warmed up. Oh, actually, something I'm gonna pull up here real quick, just so I'm not googling names. But where's just a little reference guide, so I don't have to ask you to Google certain things.
Are you perhaps Googling musical terms?
No, actually, something else. All right.
Interesting.
You said 9, made me think of it. All right, let's have them.
They are linked to you in the Discord. Okie dokie.
All right.
We should probably smallify her so we can read it.
Have cello, concerta, requiem, canticle, eulogy, Luciana, and virtuosa, symphonia, sonata. All right. Very musical heavy.
Some good ones, chat. Good job.
Sonata. Hmm. Let's see. I like Requiem. Since her debuff is death, and Requiems are sung for the dead. Luciana Virtuosa. Yes. Alright. Don't think it's eulogy. Rosa. Yeah, sonata. Oh, this is tough.
Like I said, chat did great this time.
I don't think they call her cello. The only other angel we have was Exousia. Exu. Oh, yeah. Scroll on. Yes. Sonata.
I can hear the hamster wheels turning.
They're spinning.
I mean, for reference, I would never have guessed it myself.
Mm.
This one's a pretty toughie.
They're all so good. Which musical themed name for the musical themed character? I can't discount the one that's actually a name either.
That's true.
Is there a name? Because I could see her being Luciana, and the fans all call her Lucy.
At this point, given the characters you've seen, I think it's best safe to not expect there to be precedent, right?
Hmm.
We've got everything from Margaret just using her last name to people like Jessica using her first name, and then you've got, all kinds of other random stuff. Sometimes the name's on the clothes, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's something totally random like Blaze. There is a character in this game named Pudding. So I'm not kidding. So code names can really be anything.
Particularly mechanical, Luciana, Virtuosa. Oh.
Which is why I always would preface it like guess the stupid code name, because I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm just saying it's totally random.
Requiem is on theme, but I feel like this is something Martel made up to try and fool me. Canticle has a really nice ring to it. Luciana I like because it's a real name that turns into a cute nickname well. Virtuosa also sounds fitting. This is tough.
I'm not going to give you a timer or anything.
And I want to look up Canticle just to remind myself like what type of music it is.
So a canticle is it's a psalm basically, but it's not from the Book of Psalms.
Okay.
if you want a definition. So yeah, it's definitely like church music.
This is tough.
There's like lauds, vespers,
Right.
compline. Right, those are
Matins.
canticles, just for reference.
Matins. Okay, so liturgy of the hours stuff. Let's consider it. They make use of canticles. Christiana Virtuosa. All right, these are all really good. I just got to go with my gut.
What's your gut?
My hamster wheel will go in circles trying to
Alrighty.
justify one of these.
Give us your final answer.
My gut says canticle.
Final answer, canticle?
Canticle.
Okay. Wow, that was a toughie, wasn't it, Chet? So he's guessed canticle and, well, GG. You are incorrect. You were really close. This is virtuosa. So the did anybody else suggest? Let's see. Oh, I get another point! Hooray! I really thought you were going to go for Requiem. That was actually a double guess by Martel and Lock03.
All right.
So you almost got two people on the scoreboard.
I'm on to Martel's game.
Yeah, he's figuring you out, buddy. I really liked Sonata. I'm surprised you didn't keep that one longer as well.
It didn't have quite the same ring as the others, but that was a good one. They were all pretty good.
So yeah, there's this is Miss Virtuosa. Well, I'll give you a hint. That's actually not her real name. That's just her code name. So this is an interesting character. In the long history, I guess you could say long at this point, history of Arknights, they have this tendency to introduce NPCs, right, in story events. And then like 2 years later, or 3 years later, they pop up and you can actually use them. And somehow they end up associated with your particular company. So this is one we've known about for a very, very, very long time. Actually, maybe since launch. It depends on if a certain other character was a launch character, and I think he was. So, yeah. And when did we first see her? I think that was Lingering Echoes, actually, at the end of 22, if I got that right. So, yeah, and we only just got our hands on her back in May. So that was like almost 2 years. And we heard about it long before that. It's a little bit similar situation to Fia Meta, where we actually saw her almost at the beginning of the game, chronologically speaking, but she didn't pop out for like another 2 years or so. So, you know, we call that NPC jail.
So I'm bypassing a lot of NPC jail time by starting the game now.
You would be. This is knowing that she is a character you end up with would perhaps change some of the. Because sometimes you don't know if it's going to be a character that you're going to end up recruiting or if it's a boss. And sometimes it's even both. So it's... Yeah, we were playing a guessing game for a while. I thought it was pretty obvious that we were going to end up with her, but there was some room for being suspicious because Hypergriff thinks they're very clever, and sometimes, to their credit, they are. So you can get tricked sometimes.
Martel's saying
she's quite powerful.
One of her skills is called Requiem Mass.
Yep.
Nice.
So her debuff that she applies is called Necrosis. And it's massive damage over time, and it halves the enemy's attack. So at the moment, that's actually pretty insane. Gameplay-wise, she's very strong.
Spider-themed.
Yeah, something like that.
One of the spiders we have in Kentucky. I don't think I've ever seen one, but it's like you just know they're out there. They're not really
I've seen them here. Yeah.
They're not really aggressive, but it's like you want to get that bite treated real quick.
Yeah, it's pretty my sister got bitten by one once when we were kids. There's this big nasty ugh. So,
a little divot from where it bit her.
yeah. We all hate spiders. It's funny.
Mm.
There are no spider operators yet, and I hope we never get one.
Man, my youngest came up to Minna a little bit ago and was just like, he doesn't really speak real words yet, so he just like stuck out his hand like the hand or something, and she was like, "Oh, thanks, son. What do you got me?" And he opens his hand and just drops a small jumping spider into her hands.
That's mean.
Give me, oh, a spider. I'm like, I'm impressed he was able to pick it up without getting bitten by it. And it's just like, look, it's something small on the ground. I'm just gonna pick it up and give it to mom.
You've got a young Steve Irwin on your hands. Yeah, we do have squirrels. We actually have several squirrels. And I think we're going to be getting more sometime. I have a suspicion.
Ooh, a scorpion operator?
There is,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see how they interpret that into the
Kind of a
character
scorpion.
design.
We may take a look at her. She's not in this pack, but again, I keep an eye on the comments and other stuff, and so I kind of adapt it as we go through these parts to see what the people want to see and a little bit of other things too. For those of you who didn't catch the last part, part 5, where you're talking about end up turning to complain about Nomura, but we did look at Scotty in the last episode. So if you missed that, check out the VOD of the previous stream as well. So that was our contractually obligated fish exposure.
But you guys fooled me. You kept talking about fish woman, so I guessed completely wrong. Thought she was actually a fish. You all bad at biology.
Well, I mean, yes, I know whales are not fish, but you know what I mean. They're aquatic.
Totally different.
Totally different.
This was how Shin Kamen Rider went with the Scorpion Girl.
Oh, there you go.
Oh shoot, you can't see it in this picture. The stinger's like up on top of her head, sort of like an evil ponytail.
Does it like reach out and touch people?
It mostly just spins around, and then she kills people with her claws and her high heels.
Are the high heels also stingers? Please tell me they are.
I don't know if we get a close look at them. Let's see. They're certainly spiky. They can stab right through armor. I think they might just be like really sharp stiletto heels.
So, I'd lost my train of thought. I'll be honest. I had a thought there, and it just vanished into thin air. So I was looking at the scorpion stinger, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah, because you guys get scorpions out there?
Where I'm at, mercifully not. They're not over here. They're south.
It has a
That's
fish
all I'll
tail.
say.
It's a fish. What does that mean? Does that mean mermaid is fish or person then?
I think it's both. Like 50-50.
Oh, more like a manticore character? And that would also explain a scorpion tail. Alright, well, if I hit the next button, we'll still be on one character per hour.
Nice. Oh, you have like 10 seconds to do it. Actually, you have literally 10 seconds to do it. So just bring up the next first.
Alright.
And maybe make Virtuosa, like, make her small or something. There we go. Get out of here. We don't want to see your cello anymore. Cello. There we go. I can speak. So this is a fun fella.
That is the proverbial angel with a shotgun.
Literal angel with a shotgun, in fact.
Right. And it's another dude. Right. Let's make it a little bigger.
So remember, chat, start thinking up some good fake code names for this character. And you can have your place on the scoreboard.
I like how differently they did the halo and wings for this guy.
This is a different artist from the previous character.
Like this little, we'll get into the enhancement later, but like just the fact that like his halo looks like a little Tau shield drone floating over his head.
It's got like an antenna and a wire on it too. It's kind of cool,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I like that
He's got
detail
like
there.
he's got a little earpiece too.
Yeah. And then his eyes are almost the same color as like the little blue on there. And he's got a right proper capelet here with so many. Okay, why are there so many layers? We've got one layer, separate piece there, another layer underneath it, another layer on top of it here, a massive hood. Oh, I guess to accommodate his halo. All right.
This gives me like major like duster, like kind of a trench coat, or you know the
Yeah.
poncho that what's the guy? I mean, Clint Eastwood's the character, but I don't know what the remember the character's name from you know, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Fistful of Dollars and such.
Oh,
What's his name? Because that's like I get the poncho vibe from that with like the gun and stuff.
yeah. Not the man with no name, is it?
Was it the man with no name?
Uh, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I
there you
can't
go.
remember. That's why I can't remember his name.
Life imitates art.
Who's got? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
we'll
Actually, now
just
that I'm looking
unplug
at
my
the
headphones.
layers
There you go.
from the
Okay,
inside
back.
out, it looks like he's got. Okay, so he's wearing kind of like a shirt or jacket that's got like the high collar and the buttons, and then over top of that is like the more duster-looking mantle. I I
It
feel
looks
like
like it comes together in the middle.
I feel like this is something the artist likes drawing though, is like all these layers because there's just like so many layers going on here. But he gets away
There's
with it
a
because he's keeping the whole thing like the whole thing is still largely like just one big block of color, so it's not egregious.
I'll give you a hint. This artist loves layered clothing, just loves it. So, yeah.
And we've got an ID card there and some other kind of identification on the shoulder there. It looks like a little cross. He's got a med bag here, shot shells. Then we have the old boomstick, another case full of something,
There's like a little communicator in the
and
back.
then all
In a
of these.
briefcase. Oh.
And then it looks like now that he spent all his detail budget up here, so he's like, all right, and he gets pants and boots, very
Very
unfancy and
functional.
unornamented, and in the same color. This is good. You know what? Should we continue to add to the design rules here as well?
What are you thinking? Yeah, they are.
So this, yeah, because I don't think we addressed this as an actual rule, but like this is a good example of the artist is spending his complexity budget well. So this guy's not just a like. Imagine if this level of detail and layering were repeated on the legs. You just have this like shoggoth of layered streetwear.
Be like hobo wear.
Yeah, it'd be too much.
But
So here he's
remember
like,
how we were talking about Nomura last time and excessive detail?
yeah. So here he's like, I'm gonna spend all of my detail budget on this part of the art here, right? Because the face and the hair is pretty simple. Here's where he spends all of his detail, and then he's just like, yep, and he's got legs. And I'm going to make him in a dark color with a simple design to contrast against the upper part of his body, and so that they don't really draw attention to themselves in the artwork.
I'm just drawn to the shotgun shell holster kind of thing he's got going on. That's a cool piece of gear.
Mm.
I've got something similar, but it's on like pockets.
Oh, is it one of the ones that has like the pull-out tray inside the pouch?
I've got it's like because I've got like a shell case. I have like this jacket that's got a shell case on it, and it's like that's kind of like at upper thigh level. And if I go up just above my waist, there's two lines of like shot shells, kind of like those. It's a very cool jacket, so you can kind of just like pull those things out there and stick them in.
Nice. Yeah, I like the different ways people come up with to carry shot shells on their person. This
You
is a
can
neat
kind of
one
put
though.
them anywhere. Or you can
Yeah,
put them in your shoe. You could put them in your underpants.
when I went hunting, it was still fairly cold, so I just had like a big jacket on, and I was just like I just shoved the boxes in my pockets. It was not ideal, but it worked.
You have one of those sleeves that goes around the butt of the shotgun. And it's got like shot loops on the sides.
I do not.
Those are super cool. I've got one of my Yeah.
Yeah, my lever gun's got one.
Yeah, mine's set for. It's a shame I couldn't find a good skeletalized one because those are sick. But I ended up having to go with like sort of fabric sleeve instead. But there's ones they sell for different models of 44 levers that are skeletalized, and it's like you can attach whole racks for 44s.
Right? Oh, that's neat.
It's pretty cool. Mine doesn't take those, so I'm eternally seething.
I don't know if mine was handmade or just like store bought, because I got to use, but it's just like this leather wrap that goes around the outside.
Well, leather's the way to go.
Like 8 or 9 45-70, and then it wraps over the top as well, so you can like it kind of pads your cheek as well.
Hey, chat, this guy only shoots cultured calibers.
I don't know. I'll shoot any caliber, but I have a lot of good calibers. 45-70 is a fun one.
45-70 is like an elephant gun, basically.
That's what they gave. That's what they used in Jurassic World.
I fired a 45-70 revolver, and that's not a fun experience.
Ooh.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I can imagine. Well, there's a big difference between the like modern 45-70 loads and like the old 45-70 government loads. Because I had like a Ziploc bag of like the old stuff I'd picked up from a store, and I was shooting that, and that one's like a lot more. What was the feeling? Like it felt like with how heavy the gun was, it felt good shooting that round through it, and I was like, this was not, I was expecting it to feel like a Mosin Nagant, and it felt much smoother than that. But the guy at the range was like, yeah, if you have the modern loadings, they put more oomph in them with the modern cases. So I'm curious to try that out next time I get to shoot it.
So the indications are that this guy fires his shotgun one-handed. If the animations are anything to go by.
I mean, he's an angel, so if he's got like angelic super strength,
probably just because it looks badass, but
Yeah, I want to dig into the details here.
We've got angle, we've got Papal States. Those are two easy ones.
Shady Man saying it's like a box of detail it's contained. Yeah, because the I should break out the tablet sometime so I can like draw on these pictures. But yeah, like all of the detail is still contained in this very basic like shape here. There's not like there's why he's got like the wings down here like this, is you can still draw one, two. Yeah, it's basically an upside down pentagon that he's just filled with detail. Like even the bag and all this still fits inside that shape.
Oh yeah, you can actually see it if you kind of squint your eyes.
We'll call this uh,
Rule numero ocho.
let's see. There's two rules here. So like he's you have a complexity budget. Um, yeah, call that spend your. So use that wisely, because if you overdraw that, then you just have a mess of noise. And then um, because this was something I didn't really bring up last time, but like having this gets brought up in character design discourse, especially when people are complaining about like same face or characters looking the same.
Mhm.
Is like you should be able to take your characters, black them out so it's just the silhouettes, and people should still be able to look at them and tell them apart.
Yeah, you're not mistaking this guy for anyone else. That's for sure.
It's like there's like have a distinct silhouette, but also like the detail the detail is contained within a simple silhouette. I don't know if that's a hard and fast rule, but it works really well
Well, that's
to
why we
help
call
kind of like
them
manage.
guidelines rather than rules.
It like helps manage the detail by the fact that your brain still goes like, oh, okay, it's a big blocky shape. It's full of details. Um,
You know it's a good rule when it goes off the screen, chat.
there we go. All right, detail time. Also gameplay, shotgun medic, a healer, but
Uh, now we do have some of those, that's for sure. This man does not heal. I will just tell you that outright.
really,
Surprisingly, no. I know it looks slightly medic-y, almost. But he's a herder, not a healer.
all right. So he's got the cool antenna on his halo, which also looks like the that black and blue plot band.
Ah, that's the plot band. I forgot about that.
Oh, I also love the alternating colors on the collar here. That looks really neat. Got an ID card. He's got he's I mean I guess he's an angel, so maybe he just has a cross but like he's got this like very like medic looking cross on his arm.
Heals people from the illness known as life. True.
He's got it on here where it looks like he's got, some files of stuff and radio poking out the pouch. Oh, he's got a bunch of other pouches on his
I will
belt.
forgive you for thinking it's medic-y, because that does just look like a medic patch.
Yeah, like this looks like a med bag with a radio.
Like, I think he knows first aid, but, you know.
Call a doctor.
But not for me.
Shot belt. Briefcase, a mysterious briefcase. All right, how cursed is this gun gonna be? Part of it's already hurting my brain. Hang on.
So, this one looks pretty good to me, actually. I mean, that's just a pretty bog standard lever action. It looks like it's got a top ejection port, which is a little unconventional, but it works.
Hmm.
Although it's possible it's on the right side of the gun and we can't see it. Although notice he doesn't have front sights, only rear sights.
Yeah, that's a well. I mean, yeah, I guess you can have a lever action shotgun, but
Those do exist.
you'd still want that little bead on the front. A lot of lever actions eject out the top.
Yeah, those of you who played, as was stated earlier in the chat, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with the Akimbo 1887s, you know what we're talking about, right? You run around, you shoot, you do the Terminator reload, and like flip it around with the handle.
This is kind of neat looking here. This looks like elbow plate coming down around there. All right, I want to look up what lever action
So for this one definitely doesn't cause me physical pain like Jessica's AR does. You know, the one with like it's not a charging handle. It was like some kind of abomination. Let me actually look at that.
Okay, so on top ejecting lever actions, this slides back. And then presumably this has an internal hammer, so it doesn't snag on all of his layers of clothing. Yeah, so you'd have... Oh, hang on. It could still be... Wait, do we know that this is top ejecting?
I don't think there's a definitive answer, but you could perhaps infer whatever makes more sense to you.
Well, we don't see the other side of the weapon, so it could still be side ejecting.
Yeah. I personally think it's top. Now that I think about it for more than 5 seconds. But, you know.
Actually, wait, hang on. It's been too long since I've gotten to shoot my guide gun. Shells come out, or where'd the casing come out of that, dude? No, okay, yeah, no, that one's side ejecting. I think so. Top ejecting has like a flap that slides back. This might be, unless I see the other side of the gun, this might be side ejecting, but it's got an internally contained hammer. Just because of like how smooth the top is here.
That's definitely an internal hammer. I'll tell you that outright. When you think shotguns in video games, what do you think?
When I think of shotguns in video games,
yeah,
I guess I mostly think of Hunt Showdown.
Did you ever play like Halo or anything?
Not a whole lot. Or the Doom shotgun, the double barreled one.
Doom one, yeah. So big damage but short range.
Yeah, and low rate of fire, just because you got to reload.
That would pretty much be the gameplay accurate guess right there. Rather straightforward.
Big boom, low cooldown or slow cooldown.
Unlike the previous lady, this one's there's not too much left to imagination. He shoots.
He shoot. He do not heal. Right, I think it's time for the E2 art then.
Bring it up. You're gonna like this one. So I was also chat when I was picking characters to look at. I was keeping our host in mind.
Ooh.
Not a lot of subtlety. If you make it too big, it'll get blurry. Fair warning.
So I feel that. All right. Ooh. we'll make it smaller in a minute to take in the background. I just want to see what else we got going on here. All right.
Don't worry, Space Queen. We'll be seeing some for sure.
Who's got another?
But it's on a character by character basis.
Okay, so now we've got like a full size. Okay, I want to zoom in on the gun more. Okay, so it looks like it's the same design as the other one, just a full size with a long barrel and a stock now, and it looks like maybe integrally suppressed based off how thick the end of the barrel is there.
I can see it being possible.
Or hang on, wait.
Shotgun suppressors are typically giga fat, though. They're huge because, well, shotgun.
Yeah.
So
hang on, the way the highlighting changes, this is hurting my brain now. Okay, am I crazy or like turning my head sideways? It looks like this looks like it's highlighted, right? Because we kind of have a top-down view of the weapon, and it almost looks like as you come down based off the shading that it starts to like twist. So by the end, we're now looking at like a side view of the weapon.
it's a bit optical illusion-y, perhaps. It looks to me like it's just a very slight angle.
Like, I don't know.
This
Here
one seems
I feel
to have
like
a front sight, though.
I feel like I'm looking at the top of the weapon here, and then by about the time I reach his hand, it looks like his hand's like twisting it, so now I'm looking at the side view of the weapon.
Maybe a little bit.
I guess just because of the shading, I would expect the shading to start more over here.
If you zoom it out, I bet it probably looks a little bit more normal.
It's thing way too big. All right, here we go. All right.
Man, I wish resizing images in OBS worked better.
Yeah.
Such a pain in the butt.
Okay. Now we can take the whole thing in. All right. Well, I like how we got jaggedy rocks, then give way to like this nice ordered rectangles, which then turns into crosses. And I like the way the wings are drawn, just as like almost like these speed lines coming off of his back here. And then this is his mantle comes flapping out more like a cape here. I'll be honest. I think this is the first character design that's sort of a miss for me.
Interesting.
Like I really like this composition here, but like the character design is not a huge fan, honestly. I think it's can I figure out why? Because he's following a lot of the rules for good design here.
You're kind of getting the vibe.
I think I think part of it's the color palette isn't bad, it's just not to my taste. And then this image is actually like the opposite vibe of Virtuoso, where Virtuoso is drawn to be very floaty. This guy actually looks very like heavy and earthbound. From like the way his wings droop, like everything about this design element is basically like pulling down on the character. And I think
Interesting.
I think it is a little too much detail and layering going on in the clothes. I'm also not a fan of his haircut.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think there's visually seems it's like his face doesn't look sad, but like all the design elements are basically like pulling him down to earth, making him look very tired. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think
Can
the
you
the
glean anything
jackets.
off of the personality based off of that? Would that like indicate something to you?
He seems, yeah, he look no, actually, yeah, his face does look tired too. I'm getting similar vibes to old Malinar.
They
He's
kind of have a similar facial expression.
yeah, he's like, I'm a troubleshooter, and there's so many troubles I have to shoot right now.
You need some coffee.
Hmm. Actually, this is probably how my face looks right now. It's
You haven't
fine.
had your coffee yet, have you?
No, it's almost 7:30.
Oof.
But
The brain is
yeah,
up and functioning.
there's individual elements I like. Like I like the antenna on the halo is neat. Uh, there's certain things about the jacket I like, but I think for me it's a little too much detail on the jacket. Um, and kind of yeah, I think that the jacket detail and like the face and the hairstyle don't really work for me. He's just kind of sort of designed to me, but
Interesting, interesting.
I think it's all personal taste things. Maybe a little
Well,
overboard on the
there's an
detail,
element
but
of there is both personal taste and I think there are objective standards. After all, art is a uh, what do we say? A craft performed to a standard, is it not?
mm,
So, and there are. I'll say this too. There's I haven't really put any in these packs yet, but there are some character designs in this game that I really dislike that I think aren't very good. I haven't put any in yet, but it's just there's some that you'll like, there's some that you won't, and I feel like it's just kind of going to be evaluate on an individual basis, right? And it will
yeah,
differ from person to person to a certain extent. Um,
I like
I
him
would
better
personally.
in the
Oh,
E2
go
art
ahead.
here. I like him better in the E2 art here because some of the detail and layering is simplified here, and it comes out more like a cape.
It,
Now he looks a
there's
little
I
more,
get a little more expression from him in his second art. Um,
yeah, this is more expressive here. Also, I think the long gun looks better with this design than the one-handed short-barreled lever action shotgun. Um, yeah, no, I think his face and his hair is just kind of boring to me.
well, especially after the last chick.
Yeah,
And with the angels too, they look more like normal people. Um, it's not like you're looking at someone like Province, for instance, who has this giant ass tail,
right.
or Fia, who's got like this weird feather thing going on with her like skirt almost.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
There's no like big design element on this guy that really like grabbed me. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like the antenna halo is a neat detail. Honestly, I think the coolest part of this design, actually, and honestly, I think this is why I wish this. Okay, I'm gonna say that I think it is too much detail on the jacket with the layering because like I love his right sleeve here, right? This big like oversized capelet sleeve with a big orange cross on it. Like imagine this design if like this were mirrored on the other side of his sleeve and then this center was just like one big solid like kind of like white shape with the buttons.
yeah, maybe not without the orange.
Yeah, or maybe you could replicate the orange cross on the chest, or leave it. Yeah, just have him on the shoulders. But yeah, imagine if he just basically has like his big blocky white mantle with big orange crosses on the shoulders, and you can leave the cool collar. Yeah, because like
So
his
I don't
whole
want to bias you against Skate, but yeah, this is something you'll see in maybe some of this artist's other characters.
the whole
Is there
center
tends to
here
be a
is
lot going on.
too much detail in the center. I think my brain's just like, yeah, there's something in the bag and the yeah, I'd cut the bag too. Yeah, I think even though he's trying to contain it within the shape, it's still too much for me. There's too many neat elements competing for my attention, so then the whole thing just feels like a mess.
I find that that seems to be a common theme in a lot of contemporary anime adjacent types of characters. This anything from Fire Emblem to whatever the latest gotcha is, right? Or and other stuff. Manga's the same way. The theme these days is making everything very, very, very busy.
That was that reminds me of a point I meant to bring up last stream is imagine the Lego version of your character.
Ooh, that's a good thought. Like, can you make them look like a Lego?
And have it look like a good Lego. Because you see this happen with the Star Wars Legos, was as they like started being like, what if we kept printing more detail on like the torsos and the legs?
Mhm.
And at a certain point, I'm like, I wish you would not, because your Legos, you're meant to be chibi and simplified. If you add too much detail in the printing, you start to detract from your own look. And well-designed characters will still be obvious who they are when they're Legoified, because the strongest design elements will be and distinctive design elements will be carried over.
So, to perhaps piggyback off of that thought, why don't we take this opportunity to bring up the Chibis? This perhaps shed some light upon your thoughts here.
Let's see here. We've
So, if you
got
start with number 12, 12, 13, and 14.
create some space here.
See,
Yeah.
Chad, I came prepared. Actually, we can thank me from like 2.5 weeks ago for being prepared.
Got here. Got Virtuosa.
Then Shotgun Man.
Yep. All right. All the chibis are looped, so they shouldn't vanish now. It almost looks like Virtuosa is wearing glasses, except that that line disappears when she blinks.
It's that's just
Animation artifact.
they save weirdly. It's like this. You don't see this in game.
Oh, okay.
It's like they don't have that weird line. That's just the I pulled these off of PRTS,
Hmm.
which is probably the best place to get the chibis, but they don't always come out totally accurately. It's I think it's an artifact of pulling the stuff out of the game, reassembling them, and then like being on a web page that you then download. It's you know how that could be.
Ooh,
So
I
tech
like
issues.
the light from her halo carries over into the chibi. That's cool.
There's that. You've got the stalking still. You've got you can kind of see the little loop-de-loop thing around her like belt thing she's got on her shoulders.
Do you want some curse knowledge that I just noticed?
What's that?
The way they draw the chibi's legs, they look sort of like the My Little Pony legs.
I'm gonna try to not remember that. Why?
I can't help it. I was like,
Oh,
because I'm thinking
okay.
of like
I
the
don't make me
artist,
open my bottle of whiskey right now. I will do it.
because I'm like, man, the artists draw all these like lovely looking lady legs in the artwork, and then you get to the chibi, and it's like they're using the same design element of like, what if we just draw like a sort of a soft triangle that gets skinnier as it goes up, so that the foot and the leg are basically like part of the same shape.
Somebody stop him! Somebody stop him!
Oh,
I'm
and it's
cringing
even
right
worse
now.
when they have bare
I'm
feet.
super cringing.
Wait, do we have any chibis with bare feet in here? Yeah, where
We
was?
haven't seen any yet. I don't think.
Oh, yep.
I know Red's wearing flip flops.
I know, but it's close. Oh, yeah, no, that looks. Hmm. It's not. No, but she actually has proper like heels, so it's not happening with Red.
And you might see different things on different character models.
These
Like
these
even like
two,
Kelsey's
these
got
two,
some interesting shoes, but
yeah.
I'm gonna try to brain
Turns
bleach
out,
that.
if you simplify human legs and horse legs enough, you arrive at the same shape.
I'm just not gonna respond to that.
Like that because the thigh needs less details and having larger legs allows for a bit more detail. It does. There's a reason. It makes sense. Uh,
So do you think
I'm just
Shotgun Guy's artwork translates well into the chibi?
I like him
Like, does he
better.
have
I
this?
like him better as a chibi because they're
So
forced to simplify the
the
jacket.
distinctive elements, yeah, the jacket, which is the problem part for you, is like kind of smoothed out. You have the cross with the orange.
Yeah, so like my
You have the
favorite
bit of a
part of the
duster,
jacket survives. Medbag's still there,
and then you still see
and
that little weird antenna on the halo. But
I feel
other than
like
that, it's yeah.
his face has more personality in the chibi.
So one of my theses from previous parts was that since these characters are designed to be, the artist knows that they're going to be represented in game as a 2D chibi. It means you want to pick a couple of distinctive design elements
Hmm.
that reflect in that better, like Blaze with her big chainsaw and her big hair and her stupid cat
Yeah.
ears, right? Or who else? Like Horn, and she's got, you know, the giant shield and the gun, and Jessica kind of does the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Or Red, she's got, well, a red hood. Distinctive, very distinctive on a small phone screen, which you'll be probably playing this on. And when a lot of stuff's going on, you do not mistake characters for each other.
Hmm.
So knowing some of how the game is, I think that perhaps informs how some of these things are designed. So perhaps this is a situation where somewhat excessive detail isn't, I would say, isn't as damaging as it could be in other mediums.
Yeah, because there's not some dude that's not like, dude, I have to make this in 3D now with
Yeah,
realistic cloth flappy physics. It's
yeah.
just
Nobody's
like,
3D modeling
yeah,
this
that's a
guy,
lot of detail. Let's just draw this instead.
so it gives a little bit of wiggle room to artists as well, perhaps.
Hmm.
Although it makes cosplaying a pain in the ass. So
I just cosplay the chibi version.
just you'd be like a Minecraft character, you know? Did you ever see like Minecraft Steve cosplays where they have the cardboard?
Hmm.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, here's some other curse knowledge for you, chat.
Oh no! Don't
I
no.
mentioned
Read.
Dune 1984 earlier. Go watch the shield fight. I really like that scene, but uh, the personal shields make it look like two Minecraft characters just wrestling.
So we're gonna do this one a bit differently. So before we guess the character's name, um, well, okay, there's actually two ways. Do you want to try to guess the name now? Because there's something else I can show you, which probably won't change your guesses, but it's interesting.
Is his name sequence?
I'm not going to tell you that right now, but I'm
Okay.
saying there's some things that could be interesting. Um, so I guess I'll leave this up to you. Do you want to do the name guessing part now, or do you want to save it after the interesting thing?
Is the interesting thing like too much of a clue, or will chat still be able to fool me?
I don't think it's too much of a clue. It's so that's why I'm going to say I'm 50-50 on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not. It's not like if we looked at like Kelsey's second version, that's too much of a clue. But for this guy, it's not the same thing.
like Will is saying that the legs remind him of panty and stocking.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's like that angular because the panty and stocking characters kind of remind me of like if you drew the Powerpuff Girls but with all angles instead of with all rounded shapes.
Who's Kelsey? Kelsey. Cal. I call her Kelsey. It's
Uh,
slangy.
all right,
Forgive me.
let's hit me with the interesting thing.
Okay, so if you go ahead and click right one more, I'm going to be curious to see what your thoughts are.
Ooh,
So the question that's
ooh.
going to be here is, do you like this more or less?
Oh, this is way better.
Because this is a good example of a character that has a second version. The previous one we looked at was Texas,
This is
right, where she
way
got like
better.
super. This is a super shotgun man. Um, so yeah,
This
this is his sort of promoted version.
this is
Um,
suitably. Yeah, this is a major improvement. What's going on with his arm? Or is it what is?
there's a shotgun on his other waist. His arms like wrapped around the shotgun.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. All right, I
yeah.
see it. I see it now.
He's got his hand wrapped around the butt. So now he has two shotguns. Well, he did before, but now he has two shotguns again.
This is so much better. Okay, I still don't like his hairstyle. I still don't like his haircut.
You
But
don't like the bowl cut? That's funny.
yeah, yeah, this is a little bit better. You break
I'll
out
say
of the
this:
shape a little.
the bowl cut's a bit of a personality cue.
Oh, yeah, it's like holding him back from going like fully like majestic angel lord.
He should have Kaiser Reinhardt hair. I agree, but
Yes.
everyone should have Kaiser Reinhardt hair. Yeah, man got an upgrade. Did not get a haircut. They gave him gear. They gave him drip, and they asked if he wanted his hair different. He's like, the same, please.
Hmm.
He even has a medal. Like, look at that. He's got like this thing pinned to
Yeah,
his
he's got
collar.
this award. I like his cool like near automata robot companion here with the scythe. Wait,
A robot even has a halo.
it's a companion cube.
It's a companion cube.
Come back
Yeah,
from
for the
hell.
record, he's had the same haircut since he was at least 4 years old.
Okay.
So he has not changed this his entire life. Like me, actually.
Right. So it's
It
just
doesn't
like
help that we're the same height.
it's like I like what I like. I like this haircut. I'm keeping this haircut.
Warhammer 40k, holy CVS receipt. I like it, Miguel. I like it.
Hey, it saves him 20% every time he goes in to get his haircut.
Oh, the Emperor! So then the obvious question is like, which Space Marine chapter does he belong to?
Blood Angel's successor.
Blood Angels. Yep. There's no question. The red does it.
All right. So here's all the things I like way more. I like the extra spiky antenna here, that now also kind of resemble nails. I like that his wings are doing a bit more interesting work here. They're perked up a little. Blood Angels wearing black armor. Yeah, this is Death Company. Um, I like that the layering is much better now because you've got. I like the high black collar. You've got like a bit of a clerical collar vibe going on.
Yeah,
Same like that's why I like Return of the Jedi. Luke had a great costume because it was like they fully
that's
embraced
his best
like
one.
the Jedi's cleric design. So he's basically got like some combat clericals on, and then the layering is like, well, he's got the red and the white from his cape here. He's got this cool thing.
He's just wearing like a clerical outfit, basically, right?
Yeah, yeah, he looks much more red, white, and black is a great combination as well.
He
Like,
maintains the shotgun belt.
yep, he still has the shotgun belt. He's not pretending to be a medic anymore. I think he looks better with the long gun. Um,
The gun is sick. I mean, we don't get a good look at it in this angle, but like it's pretty cool.
and like even the half trench coat thing works because it's like this is here, this is up here. The the cloak swirls around him menacingly, and yeah, he just needs to try out a new haircut. But yeah, no, this is I like this. And then personality wise, if he hasn't changed his hair, he likes order and he likes like he's tired of all the things changing around him.
Yeah, there's some of that going on for sure. Go ahead and bring up the second piece as well. There's an E2. You're gonna either love this or hate this, I feel.
Ooh, why would I hate this?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Got the giant like Metropolis robot
I was gonna say, I think this one's
slash
pretty badass, but
like
you know,
so it's like you've got like some Metropolis vibes, you've got some like Pieta vibes because you it almost looks like a uh, statue on one side and robot on the other holding a massive scythe.
I also get Dark Souls vibes from this piece, even though it's not really anything related to that. This is just the kind of thing you'd see in that kind of game,
I
right?
I've not played enough Dark Souls. I'm still trying to get past the dragon guarding the bridge. My last
Oh, yeah.
attempt was to ditch all my armor to increase my speed and try to run past him, and that did not work. I just died naked.
Libinus Kampf.
Mm. Yeah, the
So
red and
we
the
might be able
white.
to dig in here. Oh, I think that's definitely vertical eject. Yep, no doubt about it. You
Mm.
can actually see the port this time.
Oh
There's
yeah.
an exposed hammer. So another interesting thing is too is shotguns seem to be asymmetrical. Like one's the
Uh,
backup shotgun and one's the main shotgun.
mm. Yeah, they're different lengths. One's got a sling coming off of it. He's got this inverted Triforce thing over his belt here. Right there. The ID cards in danger of flying away. I like how his wings are coming up here too. Like now he looks very imposing. Shoot, even the haircut works in this art now that he's like standing in an imposing manner. Like you forget the bowl cut now.
It's a little bit longer too.
Yeah, yeah, he's got more coming down on the sides here.
So you might be getting a slightly more glimpse of emotion, perhaps.
Hmm. I really like how he's like drawn the way the shape of the way the cloak's flapping about him as well. All right.
So I hope chat has been cooking up some good code names here. So
Oh, and
I will
then
say this
okay,
too. Oh, go ahead.
now that I've shrunk the piece, also like the whole profile of this piece looks like wings. Actually, this almost looks like the head of the Cruzius Arcanum. It's Space Marine chaplains use, which is also meant to resemble wings. And the like Art Deco robot. Ah, this is cool.
I'm glad you like it.
Hmm.
This is pretty badass. He's a
He's
character
got
that
like
I
the white
previously
wings
didn't
and the
care
black
about
wings
at all.
and
Yeah. This is a character I previously didn't care about at all, and I'm like, this guy's pretty cool. It
yeah.
also is really good. So there's that.
Hmm.
I mean, gameplay wise, it's much the same thing. He shoots.
Personality wise, at least with the like sort of black and white like duality, the dichotomy underpinning the artwork here.
Underpinning the subtextual narrative, perhaps.
Yeah,
I wrote my
is
Jedi
this,
thesis on this, so
is this a character that like is like all like keeping the same haircut and like other places in his life where I'm sure he's very like organized and like routine based? Is that all to like just like keep his dark side in check?
well, he's definitely one of the most organized people. Like he keeps timetables down to the minute in operations.
Mm. Oh, I appreciate that.
I mean, that's the robot
Giant
thing
scythe
behind
is
him is
cool.
like the cube with the scythe writ big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see the cube there forms the center of like the halo.
It's got the same halo too.
Coming for you, GLaDOS.
Here's your next Doom-like protagonist, chat. Hey, you'd win. You'd have a great time.
I'd play that game.
I would play that
Especially if
game.
I get to do, especially if I get to like fly around like an armored core with these wings.
He
Actually, yeah,
does look like an AC, doesn't he, dude? I didn't think about that.
yeah, because I was thinking
Whoa!
about how you would control him. Like, no, he's just an armored core. Like, you fly around with the wings. You got shotgun. Right. We could build this guy an armored core, right? Dual shotguns,
You could build. Oh, I could actually
wings,
make this. I could
and
actually
then
make
if you
this.
could just have an auxiliary arm, so you could do a scythe attack for melee.
So this would be a good time to mention. I've made a Flametail AC, and a Texas AC. Like you could make those work. Like the designs are actually good enough that you can get something. You're like, oh, I see who that is, right? Like you could do this guy, especially with the double Zimmermans.
Hmm. All right, I
And
might.
I don't know. I don't know if there's like a scythe, maybe like the spinny laser blade thing
Yeah.
as like a shoulder weapon.
Oh yeah. Is there a way to get shoulder mounted Zimmer? Nah, the Zimmerman's more fun.
The Zimmies are you'd flip those with like something like a melee weapon.
Hmm.
You can use Moonlight for melee. Yeah, Moonlight's pretty scythe-like.
All right, when I get back into gaming streams, we'll have to fire up Armored Core again.
Fake rule number 12. Can you make this character an armored
Armored
core?
Core. Imagine the Lego version of your character. Imagine the imagine the Mecha version of your character.
That's basically what this is. Yeah, does this guy have a Mecha version? And the answer to that is hell yes. But yeah,
Hey, this rule is good enough for Godzilla. It's good enough for Arknights. Imagine your
character in Fortnite.
No.
Hey, this game would be good in Fortnite. You make Cliffy in FF14, or yeah, there's no hooks in FF14, are there? Huh. There are cat girls though, so you know. So I guess this is the point, chat. I hope you've been cooking up something good.
Oh yeah, let me hide chat here.
It's time for the codename guessing game. Yeah.
All right, chat's hidden.
So remember, so give us your guess in that format, and earn your chance to be part of the Hall of Fame. I think this one's gonna get some good ones too. Dude, we're gonna get so many guesses.
I have like no precedent to guess for this guy.
Okay. So we'll do a little bit of a short lore dump after we guess the character names. That could be fun. We're actually still mostly on track time-wise, so we're doing good. Okay, we're gonna do 30 more seconds, chat. 30 more seconds for guessing. Type your guesses in, or your fake code names in.
Oh, that robot statue looks so good.
That's pretty sick, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you're gonna get 11 guesses this time.
There's a reason Metropolis is actually I believe the uncut, like original version of Metropolis is free on YouTube now. It's been ages since I've watched that.
Alrighty. Linking you in chat. Here's your guesses.
Okay.
This one's also really good. I think the previous character and the previous one are some of the better ones to make fake code names for, because it really could be a lot of stuff, right?
All right. Just a car. Very 40K.
The bean can's in the way. Move the energy drink. There we go.
Dominant, Confessor, Legatus, Collector, Martyr, Sequence, Inquisitor, Executor, Bishop. Ooh.
Oh, the game is afoot.
And Sequence is written on some of his stuff.
I've told you before, that is not an indicator that it is or is not. It just sometimes is.
It just happens to have been true for everyone you've shown me so far.
No, it hasn't been true for everyone I've shown you so far.
Scotty,
it was only
Red.
No,
Province.
Scotty. It's just an SK. It didn't say Scotty on her freaking shirt. Red is the one that it actually did. Neural, for record, does not have her name on her clothes. So it's a hit or miss. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You can't expect anything.
Executor.
I'll be honest. I almost put Giovanna in there.
I know this is not a Giovanna. It's a dude.
That's why I didn't. But yeah.
Silencer. Martyr, Sequence, Wizard, Executor. Alright, no, and Bishop. Let's see. I don't think it's Inquisitor. He doesn't look like he really wants to ask you questions. Is it red and white? Lector.
My name is John, sometimes called Giorgio. He is not a Joseph, Chad.
Don't think it's just a car. Professor, he's Covenant.
Sorry. Chad abuses me.
Sir, Sequence, Executor, Bishop.
He's down to 4.
Sequence, Silencer. Sequence, Executor, or Bishop.
But believe it or not, Chad, we almost did this whole thing unstreamed. And then Miliardo had the wherewithal to be like, we should stream this. See if anybody on the internet wants to see. And it's like, oh, that's genius.
Turns out a lot of you guys do. Sequence, Executor, Bishop. You say it's not precedent, but this is like the Giovanna thing where I'm like, oh, but it could be. It could be. The clue's right there
That's
in
what
my
makes
face.
that's what makes
Maybe.
the code name so much fun. Is like you just don't know. I have been fooled before myself. So
Executor, Bishop. I want his name to be Bishop because that would sound really cool. And with the like robot theme he's got going on too, it would be a cool callback to Aliens. Also, for some reason, he with the black and white, there's also some chess vibes. Um, Executor, Bishop. Executor sounds cool, but I don't know that it works as a name. Its sequence makes so much more sense. Bishop. I'm gonna go with sequence.
final answer.
Final answer.
All right, chat. His final answer is sequence. Let me see. 1 second.
I take it that means I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness, do I get 2 in 1 stream? Oh, let's go. GG. All right. Yep, this is in fact not sequence, but that's a really good guess. I debated you so hard. This is a executor.
Oh, I was close.
This is in fact, it's not just his code name, that's his job title. He is an executor of the Notarial Hall of Laterano. To put this in other terms, he's the Pope's triggerman. So there's a bit of interestingness. Do you perhaps okay? Keep him up here and maybe move him to the right slightly, and bring up our previous lady, if you would. So, do you notice anything similar about these two?
Black and gold trim. They both have like the jaggedy style wings. Mostly I'm just seeing like the colors overlap and the like style of the wings.
So, would you believe me if I told you that these two are siblings?
I can see it, but like the eye and the hair color is totally different, and I feel like the anime adjacent features are
Is it cousins, chat? Is it cousins or siblings?
makes it hard to like look for like facial similarities.
Maybe it was cousins. Oh, there you go. Right. They grew up together. That's what it was. So the game confuses even me. There's too much lore. So sorry, cousins. So this is why we have chat here, because when I get something wrong, it's like they instantly correct me. Yeah, these two have a complicated relationship. I'll put it that way.
These are both by the same artist, right?
These are actually different artists. The one on the right is Skade. I think that's how it's pronounced. And the one on the left is Ryazaki.
Well, they do like I don't really see the family resemblance, but they do have very similar vibes to each other.
There's again, if I might underpin the duality inherent in the subtextual narrative, etc., etc. These two are almost entirely opposite of one each other because that's just what they like to do in these kinds of games. So there's almost nothing similar between the two, other than the fact that they're related. Totally different outlooks on life, totally different everything. And in fact, well, executor here is the cop, and he's chasing the criminal all over the place.
Meanwhile, Virtuosa.
It's like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, but angels and guns. That's kind of what we're getting here. If you want a fun little tidbit
he's
here,
chasing his cousin all over the place.
Yeah. Go ahead and take a look at the file dump channel. This, without any context, this should just give you a good summation of their relationship. This is still from a particular story beat. Which they've been doing more of recently. I like these.
That smile. Smooth.
So, this tells you everything you need to know about these two. And without context, this doesn't really spoil anything. It's just, yeah, they don't get along.
That's such a good smug face.
Oh, she's always smug.
Yeah, he looks so much better with the red and the white and the black.
So their duality actually extends to many points. It's not so much a Goku Vegeta thing. It's how can I put this? So let me give you a little bit of a lore bomb here. So Sancta, the Angles, there's something interesting about them compared to the other races. They actually have an inbuilt empathy with other Sancta. So to the extent that they can sense and sort of feel the emotions of others, right?
Okay.
They are the Protoss. Good point, Ken. They've got the Kala, if you know what that means. I don't know if you ever played StarCraft, but
no, I was gonna say it sort of reminds me of the quickening from Highlander, but that's not quite the same thing.
So, yeah, they have a level of they have an empathetic. It's not quite telepathy. It's not quite reading their thoughts, but you can feel their emotions. So between different Sancta, they get along, and everyone else thinks they're super weird because of this. Like, everybody else thinks they're bizarre because nobody else has experience. You can't even describe it, right? It's like, oh yes, I can just feel the emotions of like the people I'm around, which that's an interesting concept of how would a world work where people could do that. In this case, it's just this small, relatively small group of angel people. They're not super numerous. They're not quite like elf rare, but there's not a ton of them compared to the other races. But yeah, they that empathy is kind of like the big thing that they do. So to the extent that you have other people who inhabit Laterano, like Fia, they don't share in the empathy, which makes them sort of outsiders even at home in some ways. So with these two, there's something interesting going on, rather that Virtuosa takes the empathy to the next level because she's basically a prodigy to the point where she's not even necessarily reading people's emotions, she's like amplifying them. So this is part of the reason that she's kind of a problem. Because people do stuff they wouldn't otherwise do.
Is her death magic just basically taking that and cranking it up to 11?
Sort of. It's unclear if it's even intentional or not. She kind of just exists in a state of doing it. It's not like a conscious choice, as far as if I'm reading it accurately. It's a weird situation. So on the other hand, you've got Executor here, and he is the man with literally no emotions. That's his superpower. He actually doesn't have any emotions. Mr. Logic, pure, just follows the flowchart. He's basically a human computer, if you want to think of it that way. So, my superpower is autism, basically. But yeah, They're natural
more on
foils to
autism.
each other. They have natural foils to each other. It's a fun story. I think you'll like it when you get there. So, yeah, this is actually Frederico and Arturia Giallo are their names. So again, very Italian.
And I'm sending a meme to myself so I can drop it in. Drop it in here. For superpowers autism.
He's kind of like Red in that regard, isn't he? I get the feeling that they would get along because they're both like super like logical in some ways. Remember, chat, you only come here for the best analysis, right?
This is real hard-hitting academic stuff.
Oh, what are we doing? We didn't even look at their humors.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, Ficus, we've messed up. All
right.
You're welcome, chat.
What's up here? Let's see here.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not a Shadowhawk, or am I just insane?
No, I'm pretty sure it is. Either that or it's a.
No, that's not a Shadowhawk. That's not no. I'm
actually,
wrong.
It might be a Sultic. From
what does chat say? Somebody says the Griffin.
I think
I'm sorry. I don't care about
it's either
BattleTech that
or
aren't called the Catapult. Oh, so the Catapult's a heavy mech. You know what I mean?
There's
Catapult's basically a medium in my mind.
There's a slight chance that it's one of the Dogram mechs that inspired the BattleTech designs.
No, you know what? The more I look at it, I'm leaning towards Griffin.
No, yeah, it's not a Sultic.
Because it's got the big MRM thing. Those things are like MRM 20s, I think, is what they usually have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because here's... Actually, I think I found the piece of artwork it's taken from.
So, chat, you can never expect the tangents you're going to get on these streams. They just go anywhere and everywhere.
Someone joining stream right now is like, all right, I see a meme, I see some...
It's like, whoa, here's the Arknights characters. Whoa! And then they see this, they see the humors diagram, and they're like, what did I walk into? And they click off, never to click again.
All right, so Executor doesn't even exist on this chart then.
He's in the middle somewhere.
All right.
He's outside of the chart. Arturia's in the middle. What are the mech's humors? That's for the mech analysis stream, sir.
We will keep this. We'll do some mech physiognomy and some mech humors. I think the Griffin. Yeah, choleric. I would agree. Wait, what's the Irby look like? I hear you guys talk about these mechs, but I don't actually know what.
Oh, dude, you got to play BattleTech with us sometime. Then you will understand everything.
Okay,
so it's funny. We could actually almost do a blind rack series to Mech Warrior because Miliardo here is a Gundam guy. He doesn't know anything about BattleTech other than that the mechs exist.
You guys can blind react to the Gundams.
Dude, well, unfortunately, I know what a Zaku is, and it's the best thing ever. So,
but have you seen a Scope Dog?
No, but it's not a Zaku, so I don't like it.
It's pretty close. I'd say it's S tier up there with the Zaku.
I will reserve my judgment until the appointed time.
Herbie is sanguine. Yeah, I'd agree. It looks socially useful.
The urban mech is socially useful. It's a beer stein for Atlas. I'm sorry, I can't help myself, chat. We have scouted the governor's palace, yeah.
What's that thing the Steiner Scout Squad uses?
The Steiner Scout Squad. They're in the Atlas, yeah, and they, yeah. Scouting mission successful. Yeah.
Okay, this thing
We have scouted the enemy into oblivion.
looks melancholic.
The Atlas is choleric. Huh. Yeah, the Atlas is definitely choleric. Dominance, ruling, obsessive, it fits to a T.
That thing looks cool. I like the skull.
100 tons of inner sphere assault mech. This is what you send in when you're cracking some cold ones with the boys. Or rather, cracking some boys with the cold ones. You're welcome, chat.
All right. Enough preview of the mech stream.
Put it away. We got one more character to do. So, we've looked at the angles. I think it's time for something a bit more grounded, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and then real quick, let's see. Virtuosa looks phlegmatic.
Oh, she is such a schizoid, like you wouldn't believe. That's no, phlegmatic for sure. Zero doubts, 100%.
They say humors aren't a science.
I think they're an art form, actually. They're arts, perhaps, if you would.
Art is sometimes more art than science, as they say. I mean, look, it's basically the same character.
I can't look at this and not laugh. It's great.
I like to think there were a couple people like the platonic ideals of these that existed at some point for these drawings to be made.
Literally me, for real, yeah. See, chat, and this is the hard-hitting analysis you come for. This is like no other character analysis stream of Arknights characters would ever go to this level. You were like, the galaxy brain expanding meme from like 2016, like 11,000 years ago. That's what's happening right now. We're going above and beyond. We're going plus ultra, dare I say, if you're not cringing yet.
Right. Other people can talk about their stats and power levels. Trying to get into the stats the game doesn't even talk about.
Like Maticus, Polericus, etc., etc.
All right. We should be able to fit one more character in before I got to go hit people with swords.
He's got to go to sword practice, chat, so we don't have forever today. This is going to be only 3 hours caps. So let's take a look at the character behind door number 3.
Aww.
She's a rat cutie, ain't she?
Oh no, she's Scottish.
She's Scottish? She's a wee Scottish lass? I can't do a Scottish accent. I'm sorry, chat. But like that episode of Power Rangers where they're like, she's like, what's your superpower? And he's like, I'm Scottish! That's more or less what we're looking at here, chat. Blimey, that's English. You take that out of here. Okay, it's no problem. We're tussling the hay, yeah? Be at school or the military. I've seen worse.
He's got like sort of like goat horns, but they also look like dragon horns because they're like purple.
Thanks, Shady. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget to check out the rest of the VOD.
Take care, Shady Man. You stay out of the sun, all right?
And of course, any of you, if you haven't seen the previous streams, do check those out. They're hanging out on the rest of the VOD, with the rest of the VODs on Milliarder's channel. And you can see us develop this methodology from randomly guessing stuff to, well, what we're doing right now. So it's kind of a fun experiment.
All right, there's a lot going on here.
So I love this chick. She's great.
I like how they incorporate like the tartan pattern here with like the streetwear look. All right, let's see. very busy design, but I think it's working. All right, so we got the collar. We got these like flappy things here. She's got her ID card. And then, so it's like an outer jacket that then comes down to almost like an armored looking panel here. And then she's got like, the Scottish skirt here.
Hilt.
Got some grenades, some mags.
Some
And then
serious ZR going on.
she's got the plot band going on. Yes, that's excellent. Excellent Zetai Ryoiki. And then almost like some Adidas looking stripes on her sleeves here. Eye color purple, same purple on the tip of her horns here.
Oh, and notice the plot band, the plot bracelet.
Yes, right there. Hey.
So for those of you who play Gunlance and Monster Hunter, you're probably excited right now.
And she's got some funky looking boots.
Computer enhance. Oh, don't forget chat. You gotta come up with those funny code
names. She's got like high boots that would normally have a really high shank, but she's folded them over. And there's some little armor plates on them.
So we'll keep those in your head?
Right there and there. I like that they added the detail like on the inside of the tongue there. And then the stock of her weapon goes up, up, up. Oh, she's got a little, was that an optic or a light mounted on her hip there? Or thigh?
I can see it being a flare.
Alright. It's got stock, comes up. Alright, some kind of grenade launcher.
I also tactical whiskey. Okay, that's the best answer so far.
Whiskey. It could be. It's because it flares out.
You know how in DRG you revive other dwarves by dumping beer on them? I'm thinking it's something similar.
Yeah, because like a flashlight would typically be stored with the flared out light end down, so you grab the handle.
It looks like a bottle, actually, like the cap of a bottle.
Yeah, that could be a bottle cap, or if you had a single tube NVG with some kind of protective plug over the eyepiece. That could be it, but she doesn't have a helmet, so yeah, I'm going with tactical whiskey.
I like that answer. That's my new, as far as I'm concerned, that's the truth.
We've got
a very nice kilt.
Yep.
Probably woven by her grandma.
We got the grenade launcher here. She has like a skid plate, grip, a sticker that says small on it. Is her name Sma?
Our name is not Sma, but good guess. It's also not Giovanna.
And then it's got a... Okay, so there's the barrel, and then...
She's actually got her own picture on that ID card. It's like really small, but you can kind of make it out.
Alright, so it's a spear. It's a massive spear grenade launcher. That's cool. This reminds me of one of the Gundam design elements I really like later on in the series is that they start building rocket launchers into the shields. And it looks sort of like this, where all the shields will just have like some unguided rockets mounted on the underside of the shield. So you can point your shield at somebody and launch rockets. That's a cool weapon.
So this is another situation where we can just pull up the second R2 real quick. It's not going to spoil anything, really.
I really like the whole like belt armor into the skirt
grenades
thing.
Yeah,
with the grenades and the mag pouches, which actually, hang on, She has mag pouches, but this is clearly like a 40mm grenade launcher cylinder.
I would guess those are probably supposed to be reloads, but maybe it's, this might be a situation of artist not gun,
Yeah. There's so much going on with this jacket that, like, almost doesn't work. But I think it holds together. Because, like, where's you go? Right? Like, this almost looks kind of like a sailor uniform with the striping on the sides here. But then it's over top, like a tank top that itself is over top of a collared shirt. And then this is attached to, like, again, the big old capelet sleeve in the front with the bigger cape in the back with the high collar. And then I guess these sleeves are part of this same layer here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers.
That's actually several layers that you mention it. Well, remember, she's Scottish, so it's like
It's chilly
a little colder
up
up there. I mean, you can't. That's not cold enough for no ZR, but it's you gotta have some clothing. It's not a swimsuit, after all.
Man, what animal are these horns supposed to be?
I'll give you a hint. If you see the E2 art, you will figure it out.
She's not one of the, like, mythical creature based ones, right? Like, this is a normal.
Not sort of. I don't know how to say.
Oh,
she's not a dragon, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, I'm trying to think what else. Someone mentioned Manticore, but I don't see the scorpion tail.
She's actually a taillet. She has no tail.
No tail, but horns. Like, where have I seen those horns before? They're almost like goat horns, but not quite.
Okay, let's suspend your suspense and bring up the second art. Yeah, smaller fire first.
Was the second art a dead giveaway?
Yeah, sort of. But they do the background thing in that one, But since we are running short on time, we can't guess forever.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go with some.
Guess forever.
I'm gonna go with some kind of, like. It looks like some kind of, like, goat or ram sort of horns, or
That's an interesting guess.
I'm trying to think if there's some kind of specifically Scottish type of horned animal that I'm not thinking of.
Well, she's not Welsh, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Some kind of mythical Scottish creature.
The sober Scotsman. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Irish.
Wait, you're saying she's not a dragon?
Yes.
Okay, so she's some kind of worm?
They're based off of wyverns. Technically not a dragon. I'm being a bit cheeky there. Yeah,
I disagree. Wyvern's a subcategory of dragon.
She does not have fire breath. But yes. There are actual dragons in this universe. We may see one next time. We'll see. Depends on what the list looks like. But there are actual dragons. There's actually, it's funny, it's interesting in this game. You actually have representations of
a wyvern
Eastern
is a
dragons.
type of mythical dragon with 2 legs, 2 wings, and a pointed tail, which is said to be a venomous stinger. It's a subcategory of dragon.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, true dragons. There's actually both Eastern and Western dragons in this game. So keep that in mind for the future.
All right.
It would appear that this particular subcategory are not considered mythological. They're like...
They're just
foreign,
like, it's an animal.
They're uncommon, but they're not like... Yeah. They're not on the same level as some of the other ones. Because true dragons, true Dracos as they call them, have basically phenomenal magic superpowers, which is beyond mortals.
Oh, and here she actually has the proper reloads for her weapon.
Yeah, she's holding the shells. That's what it looks to me like. That's what's in those pouches. I think it's shells, but it's like I guess we don't see her manually reload it ever, so it's kind of up to your imagination. A little bit of skirt flare going on.
Very dramatic. Oh, I like all the smoke venting from the weapon.
Very sick, right? It's like you can see the red hot part of the gun lance.
So then actually, yeah, does she? I guess she shoots the grenades, but can she also use it for like a explosive assisted stabbing attack?
Yes.
That's cool. That's one of
if you ever play Gunlance in Monster Hunter, you know how this works.
As much as I hate having to reload the sickle in Helldivers, I love when you like overheat it and it just starts venting steam out the sides when you're in
it's such a cool thing. Pile bunker. Yeah, it's like this is basically also the pile bunker from Armored Core 6.
Okay, so
if you've used that yet.
She's also a mech. I have not unlocked that yet.
She's also a mech. Honestly, she could probably suplex a mech. She's strong enough.
Also, what does it say about like pop cultural dragon design that even though there are no extant wyverns for me to look at the horns of, like that horn shape has become associated with dragons?
I'm sure that could be the subject of some research, but I wouldn't be able to say off the top of my head right at the present moment. But the forward pointing horns, that looks like a Bale from Shadow of the Erdtree. For those of you who are up to date with latest gaming.
It also reminds me of the Peter Jackson Balrog.
Yeah, a little bit Balroggy. The point being smoke and fire, right?
Man, I really like how he drew the wyvern head here, where it's just like these big, simple, like triangle shapes with really jaggedy teeth.
It's pretty badass.
Makes me think of we brought up some Yu-Gi-Oh art last stream. Has there really not been like more alternate?
I was gonna say Red Eyes Black Dragon if I was gonna guess you. Excuse me.
Actually, yeah, that's a good one too. Not the first one that sprang to mind for me, but I'm surprised this card has never gotten like another artwork. I mean, I guess it doesn't do a whole lot as a card, but I'll pull up the Red Eyes Black Dragon to you. I was thinking of the Komori Dragon, the Bat Dragon, just with the really like angular, like just use of triangles.
Oh yeah. There is some resemblance.
Oh yeah, the Black Skull Dragon. And
like if it wasn't in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, I probably won't recognize it.
I think Black Skull Dragon was.
I know Black Luster Soldier.
I'm glad they finally printed as Black Skull Dragon instead of B Skull Dragon. Yeah,
actually, the thought. I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
I wonder if this is part of where it started. Yeah, here, that guy. I wonder if it did start partly with Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not as forward-facing wise, but you've got like the like sort of like ram's horns there. What else came out around that time that could have influenced? There we go. What other horned dragons came out? And like, I feel like late '90s, early 2000s would be when some of the influences might have started. So, what other horned dragon characters were out at that time? You see it with the Black Skull Dragon, Peter Jackson, Balrog has them. Who else?
Ah, the Skull Dragon. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I
so
recognize that
I'm
now.
realizing like I'm wondering if this Black Skull Dragon might actually have started some of that influence because they're not as dramatically curved forward, but this is where you have like kind of like goat-looking horns on a dragon.
If I were to guess, hazard a guess, I would go with the Balrog as the influence for this one. Visually speaking, at least. Like apparently that was popular even in like China and stuff.
Mm.
So at least at the time.
Yeah, because a lot of the time, a lot of older dragon art, it's like backwards swept dragon horns. So yeah, because
Oh,
there's
Bahamut,
no.
yeah, Bahamut from Final Fantasy. I could see that as well because he's got a similar vibe, even though he's changed appearance many times over the series. Or Ifrit, actually. Ifrit is also kind of a Balrog.
Hmm.
We speaking of goats, we have some. Well, there's some pretty crazy goat horns in this game. We haven't seen any yet, but we might. We might.
Most of Ifrits are back swept as well. Because what real life animal has forward swept horns like that? Like a muskox, maybe?
Beats me.
Kind of.
It's not a squirrel, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, muskox sort of have horns that curve forward, but not that same way. Hmm. All right. Where were we though? Okay. So she's a Scottish Wyvern girl, which means she is now one of my favorites.
She's Scottish. Oh, yeah, Chapman brings up a good point. Adele, has slightly forward swept horns, and then they curve back.
Hmm.
So they are not from the same species, shall we say.
Hmm.
Aya is definitely a goat. This is not a goat.
But
So you can probably guess her personality, can't you?
yes,
Can't you? She's Scottish. That's not a personality, but it is!
it is in
Right? That's the
fact.
beautiful part. You can just do national stereotypes and it works. Would it surprise you if I told you that she was into farming?
No.
She single handedly starts a potato farm. What else might you glean?
Let's see. Um, she single-handedly starts a potato farm. She's Wyvern, so eats a lot
True.
and likes to collect shiny things.
I don't think there's any evidence of avarice, as far as I can see. So here's a fun little tidbit.
Oh, and she's part of some organization because she's got the ID badge.
Um, Go ahead and scroll back to, if you look at the previous stream artwork folder, and you go back to number 15, you might notice something similar.
Number 15.
Yeah, 15 on the previous stream artwork folder.
Oh, is she part
What
of the
could this
same
imply?
organization as Horn?
Possibly. Actually, she's a squatty. Yeah. I told you we'd be seeing some of the squatties.
Part of Horn Squad, or just part of her organization?
She Horn's the captain.
Okay. Trying to see, apart from the ID badge, what else we've
Well, they're
got.
British special forces, basically.
Oh, okay.
So she's our Black Watch representative.
Okay, you sort of have a now it's a different shade of green. Now I'm just distracted by Horn.
She does that. I know.
All
Get out of
right.
here, Rita. That's enough of you.
It's always nice to see happy-looking characters in this game.
She is a very happy. She's a sweet lassie. She really is just a positive influence. She's actually good friends with Granny, like everybody else. But anyways,
We're looking at Sanguine then.
Very sanguine. There's a famous incident where she threw Granny up on her shoulders and ran around the place, terrorizing the locals.
Checks out. Pointy nose. Pointy nose.
Now the interesting thing is she's not that tall. She's only, and I will get it right this time, she's only 5'5.5", so to speak. So she's actually not that big. You think she looks big, but she's not. She's a wee lass. That being said, she towers over Texas by a whole 2 inches. That's mostly because Italians are short, I guess.
Well, then you throw in, she probably gets like another 2 inches out of those boots.
Yeah. She's an NCO, but went to officer school. Is she an NCO? Oh, that might. I don't know for sure. I can't say.
Interesting. Okay, so she passed OCS, and I was like, no, I declined my commission.
I forget. There's so many details, but I believe it. I know she went to like SAS, like it was just like a trial, and she had to like solve this thing, and it turns out that they were just like playing a game with her, and she's trying to rescue these civilians, but the civilians were actually like the squatties, and so a rather interesting interview process where it was Horn pretending to be a helpless civilian that she had to rescue from like bandits or something. I forget how it went. But she like smashed a wall down, and some other stuff happened, and it was a good time. So they're like, "We like your spunk, girl," and they brought her on board.
I want to see the Chibis now.
Oh, we haven't seen it. Right, we missed the Chibis. Bring up the Chibis. We must see them. She's having a grand old time. She's thrilled.
They're doing the duck feet thing in her Chibi. All right, the flapping, the jiggle physics on the fingers is kind of weirding me out. Oh, it looks like a jellyfish.
The interesting thing too is her horns in the Chibis are actually kind of brown, even though they have this purple sheen in the artwork. It's one of those details I feel like they missed.
She has 6 fingers on her left hand. 1, 2, 3. No?
They just look. They're hot dog fingers. True. Again, remember, Chibis, they're Chibis. You know how this is. It's not meant to be super accurate. That's 4 fingers and a thumb, chat. Uh-oh, I hear a child.
Oh, I mean, I'll be
Somebody's
back in like
awake.
10 seconds.
All right. She's Scottish, chat. Aye. She likes haggis? Actually, I wonder if haggis exists in Arknights world. That's a good question. When she stands a little awkward. Yeah, I think she's kind of like standing back. She's definitely got her hips turned at a weird angle. Yeah. She likes potatoes. Aye. Potatoes, chips, blood them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Aye.
Yeah, it's sort of like, actually, it's the stance from her E2 art. Kind of.
She's got the gun lance up instead of down, yeah?
Yeah, more so like the legs there. Like it looks way more exaggerated on the Chibi, but she's doing like the little
Well, if you like
toes turned
stand and you
inward
like
stance.
put your knees in a little bit, it's like it's like a pseudo resting position, I guess.
Hmm. Man,
Like I would never do that, but you know.
I don't know if it'll work for. No, don't have lady hips, so I don't know
Well, there's
the
that.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me that's just like a stretch. That's actually kind of comfy as a stretch, though.
So believe it or not, Chet, I have a standing desk and I've been standing this entire stream. So I'm doing the pose right now. I'm trying to do it. This is super awkward. I don't have a gun lance. That's probably part of the problem.
Ugh,
I can't make my hips do that. It doesn't work. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a good
Anyways.
stretch though. For
Ouch.
a little bit, and then your knees start
I'm
to
so
feel
old.
it.
Frick! Oh, my knee just popped. All right. Anyways, we were saying, yeah, she has super strength. By the way, her race is known as the Voivre. Voivre. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they are notably exceptionally physically strong and have incredible endurance. So they're basically dwarves except Scottish.
The dwarves.
But they're not short. They're like normal height, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
Vivre? Yeah,
French word
I think
for
it's
wyvern.
yeah. I was about to say that. I think it's a French word, but I don't. Do I look like I speak frog? I'm a squirrel. Okay. It's a miracle I speak at all. Look into my eyes, chat. Do you think I know very much? Stare at them. Skill issue. Shut up. Anyways. So what do you think she does gameplay wise? Oh no! Oh no! He's doing it! Ah! I warned you, chat. This is like an Undertale cursed mod. You know, it's like Toilet in Wonderland. It's like Mario. Mario has logged in. That's the energy you're getting right here. What? So if you recognize that reference, congratulations, you're old.
I was rewatching some Homestar Runner stuff, and once again being reminded how much my vocabulary was altered by that show as a child. Being like, oh, that's something I still say that I'd forgotten I started saying because it was in Homestar Runner.
The internet is like waves in a pool, isn't it? Once they've gone back and forth enough times, you can never really trace where it came from in the first place, can you? Sorry, I was too deep. I know.
Too deep for 8:49 in the morning. All right, gameplay.
Well, she
Grenade
stabs
lance.
stuff. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
big stabby damage.
So believe it or
But
not,
also
no ranged
gets,
attacks.
it's just all up close,
It's all melee.
explosive
It's all
powered
melee.
stabbing.
She stabs things, and then the grenade goes off inside of the thing. So it's pretty brutal when you think about it.
Oof.
Imagine you have an angry Scottish lass, stabs you with a lance, and then you explode. So there's a she's been called the Queen of Vanguards. There's reasons for this. So we've talked briefly about the deployment point mechanic before, but you need a certain amount of DP to put a character on the field. That's like the core mechanic of putting characters out. And Vanguards make DP. That's kind of their job. She's a weird one where she has to kill stuff to make DP. And on top of that, she gives other Vanguards more DP for existing. It's, again, until you play, you won't really understand what this means, but she's quite powerful.
She buffs everybody else's mana production and then farms mana up all the stuff she kills.
You could think of it, yeah. She's like the equivalent of playing like Explore in a green deck in Magic.
I like her even more.
She puts land on the field, so to speak, and she's very, very, very good. Like people like to argue about Vanguards, but I don't know. She's still excellent. Turns out killing things fast is good, and she has a lot of killing power, even compared to some of the newer characters. So you can't go wrong with her. She's considered to be a crown jewel, so to speak, of if you got a new account, if you pick her up, that's a major accomplishment. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Because she makes all your other Vanguards better for existing. So, and she's Scottish. One of the best English dubs as well. So, there you go. Fun facts.
Got an excellent Scottish accent.
Excellent. Absolutely great. So I hope, chat, you've been cooking up some good fake names since we are running up to the end of the hour here. We should probably hop to it. Shouldn't we? So
yes, you could say she farms land. She's a farmer.
She does like to farm.
All right, but, I got the chat covered up here. So
all right, chat, hit us with your good guesses here. Remember, no mean guesses. Unlike mine. Ooh, okay. We're getting, not only are we getting some dupes, we're getting some good ones. There's actually a couple we came up with ourselves that you guys are mimicking. This is great. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hang on. Keep guessing, chat. And remember, chat, don't let me take home the hat trick. If I trick him again, it's all over. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you got 30 seconds, chat. Hit us.
Oh, we got an excellent. Martel sent us another useful reference image.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, I like that one. Okay. And 10 seconds. We'll be submitting our list of names. Okay, and submissions closed. Thank you, chat. Here is the guest list. And the game, let the games begin.
That's
honestly my favorite part.
right. Albion, Highlander, Lancer, Bagpipe, Red Scale, Charger, Nessie, Fife, Sky, Triangle, and Whistlewind. Alright, so in this case, what's written on her skirt is not her name.
Her skirt says Penetrator.
Yeah. That's a dude's name. Right. Now, if I remember right, you said she's part of Rita's squad, right?
Yes.
So they all have some kind of musical instrument theme to their name.
He's paying attention, chat. We can't trick him for too long.
Which means I can delete a lot of these names, right?
Oh, chat, he's learning. Oh, God. Oh. This is what happens when you have somebody this smart. It's hard to trick him, okay? I mean, you can see he's blind, but his mind sees all. He's like Gideon, Ofnir, the all-knowing.
Right. So we've got bagpipe, fife, triangle, and whistle wind. I also know there's at least one member of her squad named Triangle.
So what are you thinking?
Let's see.
I like how she's sitting on my head. That's just precious.
Bagpipe, fife, triangle, whistle wind. Trying to remember why the triangle person was named Triangle, but I don't know if chat was messing with me back then when they were like, "Oh, she's named Triangle because she's tall." Let's see here. She is Scottish, so like bagpipe is like the obvious answer, which is why I don't think it's the right one. Um, fife. Fife sounds fun. Whistle wind. She's a wyvern. I don't think it's bagpipe. Triangle, fife, whistle wind. You know, the first impression I had of the wyvern head was that it looked like a big triangle. I think this is triangle.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Okay. Final answer, triangle. Well, you're 0 for 3 today, buddy. You're 0 for 3 today. That's rough, buddy. In fact, this is Miss Bagpipe, aka Fiona Yun.
Yeah, so it was the obvious one.
It was the obvious one. I know that it's debated. Let's see. Let me scroll back in the chat slightly. Who suggested? Hang on, what was the fake one you suggested?
Triangle.
That was triangle. Who said triangle? 1, 2. Oh, squirrel sweep! Let's go! Let's go!
Squirrel has defeated
Dude,
everybody.
I thought way too hard about this. I thought you were going to go with. I really thought you were going to go with five.
Five was a good one. Turns out it was the super obvious, stereotypical one.
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah.
I'm almost disappointed that she's just called bagpipe.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. She does know how to play a bagpipe. Is that not true?
Oh no.
I think she does, but I don't know if for sure off the top of my head. I know she's a farmer. She grows potatoes. She gives Granny piggyback rides. So, yeah, her theme song has bagpipes for sure, but you know. Oh, by the way, characters have theme songs. I don't know if you knew this.
What have theme songs?
Characters have theme songs in this game.
I've heard the was it the one based off the Earl Koenig?
Oh yeah. That one's that's the boss theme from Zwillingssturm, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. They do like their classical music references, among other things. They're Hexenkönig, yeah. So my German's a bit rusty.
Yeah, Baki and Lout, you almost got me with Fife. Fife is a good nickname.
There's a lot of really close seconds today, and by that I mean 3 really close seconds today. Good job, chat. You guys are getting better at this. I'm actually having to step up my game. I'm going to have to come up with better fake names. Real fake names for the next characters. Again, I should mention this for current live viewers and for future VOD viewers. If you'd like to see someone featured in the next episode, please drop a comment on the video. And, of course, don't put the code name in directly. We don't want to spoil it. Give us an oblique reference, right? Maybe appearance or maybe a personality trait of some sort. I think I've figured out all of them so far. So, again, the list is very large. People want to look at everybody, basically. So, we are at our rate. We've done 3, 1 per hour. So we're doing pretty good today.
With minimal tangenting.
Minimal tangent. Actually, click right on the artwork once if you would.
Oh yeah, let's get a preview.
Minimal tangenting. Actually, not a preview. This is just her extra outfit. She's very pretty, ain't she? She's a beaut. You still have ZR because this is an artist of culture. But, other than that, this is a military dress uniform.
Once again, between her and Granny, they have a complete pair of pants.
Yeah. They share the pants. Or, sorry, the pant. Singular.
Oh, I like the jacket.
So this is the rest of squad. We don't know which one is triangle. We just don't.
We just know there is a triangle in the squad.
Presumably Rita is off camera. So, yeah. Yeah, her gun lance is pretty badass in this piece. It's like a different gun lance, but...
Oh yeah, the way the vents are set up. That's cool.
That's, remember, their squad is called the Tempest Platoon. It's the SAS, basically.
Our chief weapon is subtlety.
I have a giant razor blade on my lance.
Surprise and fear and surprise are 2 chief weapons.
Yeah, fanatical devotion to the Pope. Oh wait, they're English. They're probably Protestant, but
Fanatical devotion to King Henry VII, Henry VIII.
Oh, it's a pile bunker spear. Yeah, they use it. They don't use gun lance because Capcom would get mad. But yes.
Didn't they just call it the glance?
They didn't consult either of us. So yes, they should have. But I would call it the boomstick. But that's just me. But let's do a brief preview of our. Actually, what is the next character? I'll be honest, chat. I forget who's next.
Oh, that's.
I didn't look. Who is next?
An owl girl, I think.
Ah, her. Oh, yep. That's who's first on the next episode, chat. So stay tuned.
Yeah, this is definitely an owl girl.
This is an owl. I mean, you're already gonna guess that bit, but we'll get to her in the next episode. I will slightly modify the order. So again, please put your submissions on the comments so I can see what the people want to think. And I will probably throw in a few extras. I mean, I guess the only question that leaves open is how many more we want to do before we let you play the game. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many times we can do blind reactions. Once you start playing, you can't do blind reactions anymore, so there's like that consideration, right?
I think the idea was to do blind reactions up until my fall hiatus, and then I'll come back.
When's your fall hiatus? Isn't that like a month from now, or?
Yeah, it's like...
What is that?
September, October, November. I'll probably be able to do some streaming in November, but September, October is right out.
Okay, so we're looking for maybe... Yeah, a few. We're going to talk a few more episodes then, Chad. So don't worry, we're not stopping here. There will be more.
I also need to make sure we do the mech stream sometime in there as well.
We've got the mech one, mech/droids. We've got a few other things we want to do, but yes, here's our next lady for next time. Again, put your submissions as comments on the video, and we can take those into account. Remember, no code names. Because he reads the comments too. He actually gets notifications. Believe it or not. It is his video after all. So, Without further ado, I guess we should let you go to sword practice, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I need to start. My gear's all together. I just need to throw it in the car and start driving. But
He's gonna go hit it with swords. See, he has a
Sorry.
social life, chat. I don't. I only have you.
yeah, but my social life is hitting people with steel.
That's a good social life. There's nothing shameful about that. Anyways. Yeah, so I guess that's today's episode, isn't it?
I think so. Thank you all for
Just because I know
stopping
we have a
by,
time consideration.
and for everyone that'll be watching the VOD later. You guys have all helped me hit YouTube partner officially, so thank you all for that. So you can also drop in the comments any ideas you've got for when I get around to opening up memberships, what you'd want to see out of memberships, what kind of emojis you'd want to see. If you're interested in any of that stuff, let me know in the comments, because I don't really have any ideas yet. I'm just excited that the channel's come this far. So thank you all for supporting our work.
And if I could shamelessly self-promote.
Yes, let us redirect into Squirrel's
So,
stream.
chat, if you want to, since we've been talking about these silly animes, if you want to see some Arknights gameplay by a true strategist, I say that with, like, I'm making a very strange face. You can't see it right now. But anyways, in about 10 minutes, I'll have my stream online. So that's over on Twitch. Yes, it has a silly channel name. But I will be live. I'm going to be clearing some of the old story stages that I haven't done yet. Or rather, I've done them. I haven't done challenge modes. There's some stories where I don't have auto clears. There's some where I don't even have 3-star clears. Chapter 7 and 8 were a very long time ago, chat, is what I'm saying. So we're going to be going back and doing some of the older stuff and just generally chilling. Because obviously, like I said, I'm not going to sword practice. I already worked out today. I already did weights. So I don't want to do anything else, is what I'm saying. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to drink my beer, and play some video games. And it's, for once, it's not Elden Ring or Devil May Cry. I know. There's your shocked face. But yeah, so I'll be online in about 10 minutes, if you want to take a look. There's my shameless self-plug. So.
And I dropped the link in the chat as well as in the video description, so do a little cross-platform rating there. Although, actually, you know what? Even if you guys all open up that link in a new tab, I am going to use the redirect feature on YouTube because I finally unlocked it. Plus, our good friend Kara Malone from the Helldivers stream is streaming right now too, so
No, check him out if you're interested.
He's doing War Thunder right now. So I'll go ahead and YouTube right over into him as well here. Go say hi. But yeah, thank you all for coming. And I don't know if next weekend will be available, but I think the weekend after that at least, or we might be able to do another midweek one somewhere in there.
Keep an eye on the YouTube chat. Well, coordinating schedules across 15-hour time zone gaps is a bit tricky, you know. So we wanted to get this one done a little earlier last weekend. It didn't end up working out, and here we are 2 weeks later. So don't worry, we'll get there. Whenever it works. Whenever it works.
Start waking up real early.
We don't want you waking up at 3 a.m., but you could also, here's my advice, you could probably go to bed before midnight. Just saying.
Mm.
He messaged me on Discord earlier, and it was midnight for him. I'm like, dude, why are you awake?
Because I'm a very, very early morning person.
Yes, so early. In fact, you never go to bed.
Exactly.
But yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that's enough shenanigans for one day, chat.
Later.
We will see you all soon.